All right, this is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and that fire. I got Richie Rich here in the building. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna delve into two topics. We're gonna talk about the Los Angeles Fakers. We're gonna talk about how the media has basically they don't want to talk about them. They don't want to bring them up. They want to focus strictly on the Brooklyn Nets. And we're also going to talk about Kyrie Irving and Kyrie Irving's debacle. But right before we get into it, Richie Rich, what's up, man? Talk to the people.
What's up, He Knows, man? How's everything going, man? It's been a while, man. It's been a hiatus. We back at it. The show, was on a hiatus, but now we're back, man. Bringing nothing but heat, nothing but fire, man. Coming everybody's way. So I'm looking forward to the topics that we have to delve into, man. It's a lot of, as you guys have been paying attention, watching, man. The NBA, there's a boatload of storylines, boatload of topics to cover, and we're just gonna bring you guys that heat that you guys been waiting for. We know you guys have been waiting, been patiently waiting to see what we got to cover on this show. So we're back at it, man. We're gonna come with that heat. We're gonna give it to you raw.
So let's talk about the first topic at hand, man. Salute to you, Octavius. Salute to that. Appreciate that. Tom Ross, salute, man. Double Dragons, True Alpha. Sade Loden, salute. G Kicks, salute. Let's talk about it, man. Let's get right into it. The Los Angeles Fakers. I have a problem with the media. My biggest problem with the media is they want to sit here and they want to focus and cover basically the Brooklyn Nets all day, every day. That's all they want to talk about, the Brooklyn Nets. They want to talk about Kyrie Irving's debacle. We're going to get into it because obviously we all have strong opinions about it. But the last time I checked, when they were covering Kyrie Irving, the Los Angeles Fakers were 0-4 in the preseason. You remember in the beginning of the season, LaFraud James, that's what I call him. He's a LaFraud. LaFraud James said that he's cerebral. This makes me laugh because LeBron James, LaFraud James, and cerebral don't go together. If he was cerebral, he wouldn't be 4 for 10 or 4 out of 10, an abysmal 40% NBA Finals average in performance. He would not be that. He would be more like 80 or 90%. Here's the trippy part. He said that he's so cerebral that he can figure out how to play with Russell Westbrook of Russville. And what has happened in the preseason? Have we not seen a debacle? Thank you. They're 0-6 now. But at the time when Kyrie Irving was covered, they were 0-4. Have we not seen the fact that LaFraud James is now making excuses saying, well, we're going to have to figure it out. It's going to take some time. But you said you were so cerebral that you would figure him out. Listen, me and Richie Rich was talking about it. But when it's all said and done, LaFraud James has a Mario Chalmers, but on steroids. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He got a Mario Chalmers. Salute to you, Tom Ross. We'll catch you on the flip side. A Mario Chalmers on steroids. Because Mario Chalmers, if you guys know anything about the history of basketball, he used to challenge LaFraud James left and right. Mario Chalmers was not having it. Mario Chalmers was making sure that LaFraud James understand this is the MIA, though. This is 305. This is Dade County. This is not Cleveland. This is Wade County. Udonis Haslam used to ether, murk, and check LaFraud James too. You're not gonna come over here and dictate terms. This is the MIA, yo. That's why they call it the MIA, yo. When it's all said and done, Mario Chalmers used to check LaFraud James. Well, Russell Westbrook of Russville is Mario Chalmers on steroids. He's uncoachable. His game has not enhanced or developed since college. Russell Westbrook of Russville has been the same player that he's been since college. Basically, run transition, have the ball in his hands, be a ball clogger, hold the ball for 23 seconds, and then if he's not able to drive to the basket and have a transition shot because they're low post defenders, he's checking up a brick or an air ball jump shot. This is his MO, left and right. When you guys watch these 6 preseason games, has that not been the case? But yet he sits here and says, salute to you, Rip B. Brazy, that I'm cerebral enough to figure him out. Look, when it's all said and done, this is a circus clown show. I've said it. Skip Bayless has said it. As a matter of fact, Skip Bayless called it, here's the backcourt, and you about to laugh. He called it the West Brick and the La Brick backcourt. I like that, dog. That's a perfect terminology because LaFraud James has moments when he La Bricks. But I like that tandem, West Brick and La Brick. That goes together. That actually rhymes. Because what people don't understand is that West Brick of Russville, this guy averages a field goal percentage of 40 to 41%. It's Allen Iverson-esque. And then on top of that, not only is he not efficient, he's hard-headed and he's stubborn. And if you guys notice, LaFraud James is usually the one bringing the rock up. You see how he already bend the knee to Russell Westbrook? Who's the one bringing the rock up? It's Russell Westbrook. You remember when he got Rajon Rondo? He made Rajon Rondo be basically a sideline player, and he was bringing the rock up. He can't play that with Russell Westbrook. You see, Russell Westbrook just left a situation with James Harden where James Harden was bringing the rock up, and they eventually had to turn it around, and they had to say, you know what? Russell Westbrook has to be the one to bring the rock up because it has to be his way or the highway. This is what we call a la shit show. This is what we call a la circus clown show. This is not basketball. And then you got Carmelo Anthony. Don't get me started. See, I got to talk about this whole team. Carmelo Anthony is an isolation ball clogger. He's a mellow snake. This guy right here basically shitted on LaFraud James. You remember they asked, who's his top 5 players of all time? LaFraud James wasn't on the list. Carmelo Anthony always shitting on LaFraud James every chance he gets. And he doesn't pull no punches. But he's a Banana Boat Crew member, right? See, we're not going to sit here and act like Carmelo Anthony's not doing this for a ring chase. This is a clear ring chase. And if you look at LBJ Riders Media, LBJ Brigade, LBJ Apologists, LBJ Stands, you know what they're doing? They're pushing the Brooklyn Nets hard. They're pushing the Brooklyn Nets agenda because they want to get your mind off of the fact that the Fakers are la garbage. They're la trash. And this tandem here was a la desperation to try to hang with the Brooklyn Nets. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck and let's keep it 1,000. They know that Kevin Durant, the 50, 40, 90 walking gazelle, the Mr. Do Me and I Chill, the guy that's here to restore the natural order of basketball, the basketball natural order of basketball restorer, scares the living snot out of LaFraud James. And he's about to go 75% on him. Now, this Kyrie Irving situation, I'm geeked up to talk about it, and I will be talking about it. But we got to get the Fakers out of the way. The Fakers are fake. If you notice, Kendrick Perkins is so Kyrie Irving heavy in his talking that he does not want to acknowledge that there's the team with the Fakers is not symmetrical. Basketball has to be harmonious. Basketball has to be symmetrical. Every position has to be linear with one another. Let me break it down in simple English. If what I'm saying is over people's heads, that means everybody on the starting 5, they need to be on the same page. Well, if you have Russell Westbrook of Russville that clogs up 23 seconds, how's that on the same page with an Anthony Davis who's an efficient low post scorer down low? And that's the only player the Fakers have. But if you guys remember, He Knows Everything said it damn near over a year ago. What did he say? Anthony Frailvis? Did he not just say that Anthony Davis was one away from being injured? What happened last year in the postseason? Did he not get injured? And when LaFraud James was faced with him being La Clutch, he got first freaking rounded. See, this is why LeBron James is not the players that you guys think that he is. In actuality, he is the player that people don't think that he is. Because when games get tough. When the defining moments are arrived, when the situation is at fate, LaFraud James always finds a way to LaFlop the situation. These are facts. And if people don't want to be honest with it, they either don't know basketball, they either choose to not know basketball, or they choose to just sit there and go with whatever floats their freaking boat. When it's all said and done, the Fakers have a circus clown show. And then to add on top of that, let's add injury to insult because we know Carmelo Anthony don't play no damn defense. So I don't even know why they picked his rabbit ass up. Then we got Dwight Howard. This is a goof troop. He's not even Orlando Magic in shape goof troop. This is a guy that's well past his prime goof troop. He's a big freaking goofball. They think that this goofball is going to help them? Come on, man. I got to be honest here. When we look at the Fakers, they're not a team that's built for success. They got a whole bunch of guys that are past their primes. They're just namesakes. These guys cannot give you basically the consistency from a physicality night in and night out. These are facts. And if people are being honest with themselves, they're not being biased, they could tell that this is a la shit show la waiting to la happen. And it's going to happen. On national TV, you are going to see LeBron James and you are going to see Russell Westbrook go at it. I guarantee it. We saw it last year. When was it? Last year? No. 2 years ago, when he was with James Harden, we saw them go at it. We saw Russell Westbrook last year go at it with Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal so badly wanted Russell Westbrook off that damn Wizards team. You guys remember that? He couldn't deal with him. He couldn't tolerate him because Russell Westbrook hasn't learned the cardinal rule of basketball. You want to know what the cardinal rule is? When you are Scottie Pippen, know your Scottie Pippen role, know your Scottie Pippen lane, live in that motherfucker, operate in it. See, this is the problem with Scottie Pippen. That's why you saw Scottie Pippen in his drunk rant did what he did with Michael Jordan. He basically went into what's called renegade Robin, i.e. Red Hood moment. Robins have a tendency to be a Red Hood at any given moment. Russell Westbrook was Red Hood the whole time with Kevin Durant. You had the most efficient basketball player the NBA's ever seen. You had a walking 50, 40, 90 guy. We're talking about the Golden State Warriors. The Oklahoma City Thunder was way freaking better. Yeah, y'all better make sure y'all hit the like button, super chat, cash app, give your Sunday's best because we going all the fucking way in. Russell Westbrook had an opportunity with Kevin Durant and James Harden. And I mean, come on. James Harden, now Sam Presti fucked it up. Sam Presti should have never not given James Harden that $80 million. That should have happened. So we can talk about that. But they didn't care about Kevin Durant. They cared about Russell Westbrook. They cared about what Russell Westbrook's needs was. They was too busy trying to appease Russell Westbrook. They should have fired Scott Brooks a long time ago. They should have got a hardline coach that was going to be willing to tell Russell Westbrook to his face, you're not going to be able to play basketball the way you want to play it. We got a guy named Kevin Durant right there. When the game is on the line, you need to make sure the ball roll are in his freaking hands. But see, Russell Westbrook, from the inception of him being in the NBA, he never had somebody to G-check him. And he needed that coach to G-check him. That never happened. That's why you see he's in that developmental state that he's in right now, where he just hasn't grown up. Basketball players have a 7-year rule of maturity. I've talked about this with Ross before. Me and you have talked about it. You already know the rule. You've been around me forever, so you know. Basketball players got 7 years to mature. That means develop your game. That means develop your mental, develop your physical. After 7 years, you know exactly what you're going to get from that point on moving forward. And Russell Westbrook has low fucking IQ. That's exactly right, G-Kicks. Russell Westbrook also has a situation where he can't accept criticism. And Russell Westbrook screwed up the NBA Finals. If you guys remember 2012, as much as they cheated for LeBron James, as much as they made sure Kevin Durant didn't go to the free throw line. Listen, man, when Joel Anthony gets more free throw attempts than LeBron, than freaking Kevin Durant, that messes with my head. If you guys know who Joel Anthony is, which I know all these basketball players, all these basketball heads on the comment section know who he is. This guy was a bona fide bench player. He was basically like a goon. This guy got an opportunity to go to the free throw line more than Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant had 14 to 16 touches like he was supposed to in that NBA Finals, Kevin Durant would have been averaging 50 points per game in the NBA Finals. That year, minus getting those touches, Kevin Durant dropped 32 PPGs. That's insane. But you remember in that NBA Finals, they were putting LeBron James on notice. Stephen A. Smith was out there in the media saying, if he don't win it, he gonna be the biggest bust the NBA's ever seen. And you know Nike invested that $90 million in LeBron James. And you guys know the NBA, they had to recoup their investment. So what they turn around and end up doing, they turn around and made sure that LeBron James had an opportunity for him to win at the expense of Kevin Durant. You didn't see when Kevin Durant went and cried to his mom? Kevin Durant went and cried to his mom, not because he lost. He went and cried to his mom because he knew he was robbed. He knew he was a little robbed. He knew what the NBA did to him. He knew what Nike did to freaking LeBron James. Prop his ass up. But if Russell Westbrook of Russville would have showed up in that damn series and beat the Scottie Pippen that he was, well, guess what, guys? In the midst of all of that, we would have still had a fucking series. James Harden, we already know he's a Tony Romo, aka Zab fucking Judah in the postseason. He just didn't show up. Could you imagine if these guys showed up and played their roles the way they did in round one through round three? We're talking about the Miami Heat would have been exposed not only in 2011, they would have got exposed in 2012 too. This is why LeBron James, to me, is not the basketball player that people think that he is. Because let's talk about the titles that he's won. He's won 4 fucking titles. And in the 4 titles that LeBron James has won, all of those titles can be criticized. They can be scrutinized. The first one, he sat there and got a phone call from Michael Jordan. You know when Kobe Bryant, Tom Ross gonna love this shit. Kobe Bryant get a phone call from Michael Jordan. That just makes Kobe Bryant buzzle even more because it's that same energy. So Kobe Bryant will go out there and lash you for 50 because it's iron sharpening iron. Proverbs 27 verse 17 says, iron sharpeneth iron, for a man is sharpened by the countenance of his friend. When Kobe get that call from Jordan, that's that Proverbs 27:17. Well, when LeBron James got the call from Michael Jordan, he nutted up. Jordan said, you did great, but it ain't over. What you gonna do in the finals? And then he shows up in the NBA Finals and he gets swept by the San Antonio Spurs. He couldn't even get one game. A superstar supposed to get one game. See, they sit here and they talk about 2011. No. We're going to talk about 2007 first. This man got done up. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. This man got done up. So I don't even want to hear it. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. I don't even want to hear it. When it's all said and done, LeBron James was exposed since 2007. And then 2011, what was the epic meltdown this guy had, Richy Rich? He said, y'all gonna go back to y'all miserable lives, but I'm gonna go back to my life with me and my family. LeBron James was letting you know the guy he was at that moment. That's why I'm disappointed in basketball heads that think that LeBron James is a top 5 basketball player. It shows that your basketball knowledge is limited as fuck. It really shows that. If you have LeBron James in your top 5, you are not authorized to talk basketball because you're co-signing a guy who sits here and makes constant love fucking excuses. When we have a Kobe Bryant who's constantly disrespected, but Kobe Bryant played with Smush fucking Parker. Don't get me started. Devin George. They don't talk about this shit. Kobe Bryant played with fucking Shannon Brown. He won 2 back-to-back titles with Shannon Brown. Sasha Vujacic, Jordan Farmar. These are guys, if LeBron James played where he'd be pulling his fucking hair out. He won back-to-back titles with Lamar Odom and Paul Gasol as you would say his more premier guys. Paul Gasol ain't on no damn Chris Bosh or Dwayne Wade level. Let's be honest here. Lamar Odom ain't on no damn Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh level. And then he turns around and says that's not enough. And then he fucks around and get Ray Allen. He gets Mike Bibby. I mean, this guy gets everything. He goes 4 straight finals and he only wins 2. Come on, man. When Paul Gasol got with the Lakers, Paul Gasol was so soft as cottonelle tissue paper. Kobe Bryant had to toughen him up. You know how many times Kobe Bryant embarrassed Paul Gasol in the media? He basically treated Paul Gasol like a smaller Shaq. Get your ass in the post. I ain't throwing the ball at you. Get in the fucking post. Rough your guy up. If you don't rough him up, you ain't seeing the damn back. That's why I love Kobe, though. Kobe will muff you up verbally, man. That's why Shaq is still mad. If you guys go listen to Shaq recently, Shaq was pissed that Kobe was a rookie and Kobe didn't want to pass on the ball because Shaq was being lazy in the post. And Kobe said, no, work him in the damn post. You don't work in the damn post, I'm not throwing the ball your way. It's the same thing with Paul Gasol. But Paul Gasol was even worse. Kobe will yank his damn jersey and say, what the fuck are you doing? This ain't Spain. This is the NBA. Kobe made Paul Gasol tough. That's why Paul Gasol was ramalanging Kevin Garnett in the 2010 NBA Finals. It's because of Kobe Bryant. That's why Paul Gasol was sticking it to Dwight Howard in 2009. Kobe made him fucking tough, man. Lamar Odom, Kobe Bryant. See, they always say LeBron James make his teammates better and they operate and score better. Well, guess what, Richie Rich? Lamar Odom averaged way more points when he played with Kobe than on any fucking team he played with. Paul Gasol had season-high numbers playing with Kobe Bryant, but LeBron James makes his teammates better. Dwayne Wade's numbers dipped. Chris Bosh's numbers dipped, but they make LeBron James is better. Or is it LeBron James' stats is getting better and everybody else is getting fucking worse? See, this is what I'm talking about. We got to get to the nitty-gritty here, man. That's why it's sacrilegious and it's basketball heresy to sit here and put LeBron James over Kobe Bryant. What it reveals is you're a fucking peon brain. You don't know basketball. You're not even qualified to talk it. Kobe Bryant went to 7 NBA finals. And if it wasn't for Shaq being 400 fucking pounds, Kobe would be at 9. Let's keep it real. Let's fucking keep it real. And if they didn't veto Chris Paul, listen, man, Kobe Bryant would be sitting here 11 fucking finals, dog. Don't get me started. They vetoed Chris Paul because they wanted the Miami Heat to deliver the damn goods. Could you imagine Chris Paul, KB24, Paul Gasol, and Dwight Howard? What? Don't get me started. Hey, the Miami Heat would have got done up. They would have got done up. There's no way the Miami Heat would have thrived. Not against that squad. But David Stern was like, hell to the damn no. We ain't going to let Kobe keep thriving. We ain't going to let Kobe keep running his thing. We're going to have to shut this shit down. And that's exactly what they did. When it's all said and done, now we fast forward to 2012. We already talked about that one, where Kevin Durant was fucking robbed, and they had to prop up LeBron James because they had to basically make it look like he got his first title because that year he basically had the quit game when Boston Celtics ran his rabbit ass up out of there, out of Cleveland. But he's the chosen one, right? Kobe stayed with the Lakers. Jordan stayed with the Bulls. But he is the chosen one, right? No, he was the fucking frozen one. And then 2013. Ray Allen. See, every one of these motherfucking finals, you can find an asterisk. Ray Allen hits a shot and saves LeBron James. The San Antonio Spurs couldn't hit free throws for the life of them. I honestly believe that the San Antonio Spurs was paid under the table. I don't care what anybody tell me. When you got Manu Ginobili missing free throws, Tony Parker. Do you guys know what these guys shoot for free throw percentage? Tony Parker missing fucking free throws. Kawhi Leonard missing free throws. Tim Duncan don't miss no damn free throws. All of these guys missing free throws, and then they sit Tim Duncan down so that Chris Bosh can get the rebound. Do you guys know Tim Duncan was out rebounding Chris Bosh that whole series? Something about that don't even smell right. And then the land title, Kyrie Irving basically has back-to-back performances where he bails out LeBron James. See, even in his wins, you can see asterisks there. And Andrew Bogut goes down, the rim protector that was making sure that LeBron James didn't have an opportunity for him to go to the basket. He goes down. Draymond Green at a pivotal moment when the Golden State Warriors could have absolutely won the series. You know what ends up happening? Draymond Green turns around and gets suspended for one game because they call him the B word. Do you guys understand getting suspended for one game in the NBA Finals is like getting suspended for 4 or 5 games in the postseason? Because it takes you out of your basketball in shapeness. That's why when he came back, he was all out of wits. He was not in the same zone, that same zone where he was limiting and shutting LeBron James down. When it's all said and done, man, and I'm going to pass the mic to you right now, Richie Rich, because I had to ride on these fakers. This is what LeBron James's career is. And that's why it's a travesty that ESPN said that LeBron James is the second greatest player the NBA has ever seen. Mike has been passed to you, bro.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, man. You went in on the LeBron, man. Oh, there, man. You kind of went. I feel you though, man. But I feel you had to go in on them, man, because there's been a lot of nonsense going on with the media, with LeBron James and putting him number 2 as the number 2 greatest, number 2 GOAT behind MJ. You know that right there just doesn't make any sense. You know, I'm glad you went on it. I'm glad Skip Bayless went on them too. I know you saw what Skip Bayless had to say. He ethered and murked LeBron James. He was like, man, there's no way this cat is number 2. No way. I'm glad he's one of the dudes in the media, man, that's not gonna allow some nonsense like that, man, to continue going on. I wish there was more media talking heads that truthfully want to speak their mind, man, and not be yes men, you know, like all these other, media talking heads. Paul Pierce, you know, who's no longer on ESPN, he mentioned that that's what ESPN, that's all they do. You know what happened with Paul Pierce, where he got fired because he had that video of him where he had strippers and stuff on in that video. So they let him go. But you know, a dude like that, you know, money's not really going to phase him. He's made over $200 something million in his career earnings. But he was just saying that ESPN, man, all they want you to do is talk about LeBron James. It's all they want you to do. It's like a LeBron love fest over there. And he got tired of it. You know, you can't say bad things about him. You can't disprove of his career, his game. All they want you to be. It's like a LeBought and LePaid for a television network. Like LeBron has an investment tied in ESPN where they have to say nothing but good things about him. You know, and that was one of the things that, you know, he didn't like working over there as an NBA analyst. But to move on to that to the Lakers, man, you know, just looking at how their roster was constructed this past offseason, man, it just screams desperation. Just looking at the players that they done picked up, you know, Carmelo, you know, I thought Carmelo was serious, man, about trying to, you know, actually go for a ring. You know, he goes and teams up with LeBron James, a guy who he could have, who he wanted to team up with, and people were expecting for Carmelo Anthony to be picked up by LeBron in the past, but LeBron has always not picked him up. I'm guessing it's because, you know, it's the Lakers really don't have nothing to work with. They don't have money to work with. All their money is pretty much tied into LeBron and AD, so they have to settle for these old veterans. And now he wants to go after Carmelo Anthony because he sees, man, he has 2 more years to call it quits. You know, LeBron James, these are desperation moves, man. Going after Carmelo Anthony when Carmelo Anthony, he's never been known for playing defense. And he only can play one style, man, offensive, where he needs the ball in his hands as a scorer, as an ISO scorer. So I'm guessing, you know, he's going to help, you know, with scoring because the Lakers had issues scoring off the bench. You know, Carmelo Anthony could still put get buckets. So I believe that's going to help the Lakers out in that regard. But defensively, I'm looking at their roster. How did they improve decently from last season? I know they picked up Trevor Ariza, but Trevor Ariza is a dinosaur now. And I know
Yep.
you that man done got injured. He didn't sustain an ankle injury. This man is out
Yep.
for 8 weeks. They're
Yep.
already showing their colors that they're not gonna last, man. They're not gonna hold up.
Yep.
You picking up all these old dinosaurs, all these old relic players, and these cats aren't even gonna hold up. Tyler Horton Tucker, he's not an old player, but he injured his thumb, and he's gonna be out for the same duration as Ariza. None. Malik Monk. These players
Yep.
are already getting hurt. They look terrible in preseason, man.
Yep.
They didn't even win a game. They lost all their games, and they look like they don't have no chemistry. I know we still got to give them time to see what they're gonna look like down the line. We're gonna give them some time to do that. But I just don't think this team is gonna hold up the way the media pundits are out there saying that they're gonna come out the West and all that. They're still thinking that teams like Phoenix can't put a lashing on the Lakers, or a team like Denver, or a team even Dallas. You saw Dallas, man. Dallas, they were giving the Clippers, man, with Kawhi, when Kawhi was playing and he was playing at a high level. They were giving the Clippers a run for their money, man. That's not a team that should be taken lightly. Kawhi, he had to finish. He had to play his A+ basketball to get the Mavericks up out of there. That's a team that shouldn't be. And then now they got Jason Kidd coaching them, so he gonna get Luka Doncic right. Luka Doncic, he's a nice player, but there's aspects in his game that he got to work on. Defensively, he has to work on his conditioning. He has to work on featuring Porzingis a lot more, because Porzingis, man, I felt that last year he didn't feature Porzingis enough. Porzingis is a weapon, man, and I think Jason Kidd he's gonna make them balance how they're taking their shots in the games, and that's gonna make them more of an effective team. That's a team that could become a deadly team that people are sleeping on. So people saying the Lakers are gonna walk away with the Western Conference just because of the past old dinosaur names that they done picked up, man. I'm saying, man, no, it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee, and they have to watch, especially the Suns. I like the moves they done made. They got JaVale McGee. They got a center behind Ayton, so there's not a big drop off. When Ayton goes and sit, they still have somebody to rebound and to block shots. Protect the paint. And they also signed Landry Shamet. They got some more 3-point shooting, and the guys that are still there, Mikal Bridges, Cam, what's his name, Cam something. These players are expected to pick up their level of play. They went through that gauntlet of going to a championship. These guys are only gonna get better. CP3 and Booker, they got good chemistry, a good rapport with each other. That's a team you can't, just because the Lakers done re-up, but they wouldn't re-up with old players. You can't just expect these guys to come out and represent the Western Conference. And the Golden State, this is my dark horse team, Golden State Warriors. I like what they did. They done signed some solid role players. They done got Otto Porter. Clay's expected to come back. He's looking good with his recovery. He's expected to come back in January. They got back Iguodala. They're expecting Wiseman to. They said that Wiseman was working on his game a whole lot. They're expecting him to come back in January because they want to make sure he's 100% healthy. But Golden State Warriors, man, you saw Stephen Curry did last year. He was the leading league scorer. He could still play at a high level, but I believe Stephen Curry, he plays at his best when he has a deep team around him. And I think the Warriors, that's what the Warriors did. Jordan Poole, that young cat on the Warriors. I don't know if dudes are paying attention to him.
He's developing well.
Yeah, that cat looks nice out there. If that cat can continue doing his thing, being a lethal scorer, that only helps the Warriors out. And that's my dark horse team. They could still pull a trade, like they're going after Pascal Siakam. They could pull a dark horse trade, man. That's one of the teams, they got the assets to do that. and they could
Yeah.
be right in it. They could be the ones that represent the West. So people saying the Lakers are going to represent the West,
Mm-hmm.
you just the move that surprised me that the Lakers pulled, and you was going in on them, was that Russell Westbrook move, man.
Yep.
I can't believe LeBron James co-signed that move, because now Russell Westbrook gave you a glimpse of things to come. You
Yep.
know, because of his low IQ,
Mm-hmm.
his rash way of thinking on the basketball court, where
Yep.
that game where they played the Warriors, he had like 8 or 9 turnovers, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he just scoffed at it when they were interviewing him in the post game. They were like, man, like what went on? What went on with you, man, in the game, man? You turned over the ball. You had so many turnovers, man. And you know, he didn't think nothing of it at the time, but they're gonna be thinking of it, man, when it's one of those important postseason games that they need. And Russell Westbrook, he completely goes off the rocker, man. He has one of those games, man, where he's not thinking straight, man, and he's giving up the basketball and they lose. You
Yep.
know, and we already know how Russell Westbrook plays. This guy needs the basketball in his hands. If he doesn't have the basketball in his hands, he's useless out there.
Exactly.
He doesn't play off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So LeBron James needs the ball in his hands. We all know LeBron. LeBron, Mr. Check my stats. I love my stats. LeBron gotta have the ball in his hands. Remember,
Yep.
LeBron is trying to get that Kareem record. He's trying to get that all-time points record. So Russell Westbrook having the ball in his hands, you know, that's going to negate from what LeBron wants to do. And it's not like LeBron could just go in the post. If Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis are going to be in the post, they're going to be taking up all the space, meaning that LeBron is going to have to hang somewhere around the perimeter. He's going to have to be a 3-and-D guy. Since when do we know LeBron James is as a 3-and-D player in the NBA? Point. It doesn't make sense, man.
Mm-hmm.
This whole move that the Lakers made, it just smells of desperation, man, and it's gonna cost them big time. You know,
yep.
It's gonna cost them big time, because Westbrook, not only is he a ball dominant player, this man his field goal percentages are abysmal. Still at an advanced age, you would think he would improve. Jason Kidd was not a great 3-point shooter. But as he got older, he worked on that aspect of his game, and those percentages improved. Westbrook is what, 32, going on 33. This man still has terrible field goal percentages, terrible 3-point field goal percentages, shooting 29%, 30% in the season, shooting 42, 43% in the season at the field. Man, Westbrook, man, I don't think this is gonna get ugly, because and they done signed all these guards that need time because they're trying to get better contracts down the line. It's just an ugly situation. They got a loaded backcourt at the guard position, and I mean, Westbrook gonna need those minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You got Kendrick Nunn that they signed. You know, that was a solid move from the Lakers, but I don't know if he's gonna get minutes, because you got Tyler Horton Tucker. You got Malik Monk. All these guys, those 3 young guys, they need minutes.
Yep.
Because they're trying to get better contracts down the line. I don't know if signing with the Lakers was the right idea for them, because it just doesn't make sense, man. These are young players that are looking to be featured more. Going to the Los Angeles Lakers that are all about title or bust, and playing for a coach like Frank Vogel, who will bench you if he don't think you playing sound defense, like he did with Dennis Schroeder, Tyler Horton Tucker, Montrezl Harrell, who were on that team last season. He did, or even what's his name? He got signed to the Lakers late as a center. He was the dude that they thought the Lakers were gonna gank everybody when they signed him, when he got bought out by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's on the Philadelphia 76ers now. He was a top round draft pick. He's a very clumsy center.
On the Philadelphia 76ers now?
Yeah, hold on. Somebody probably gonna come up with his name on
y'all put it in the comment section. Who is he talking about? Okay. Drummond.
Yeah, Andre Drummond. I don't know. His name always escapes my mind.
I was gonna say Drummond, but Anthony Rose beat me to the punch. You talking about that guy that was the non-motherfucking factor?
Yeah, the non-motherfucking factor. Appreciate it, Anthony Rose, for coming out with the name.
Man.
Yeah, but you just see Frank Vogel. He's not afraid. He already showed you what kind of coach he is. He's like Eric
Mm-hmm.
Spoelstra. If he thinks you're not playing defense, he's gonna bench you.
Yep.
You know, the Lakers done signed all these cats that are not known for playing D at a high level, man.
Yep.
It's gonna be interesting what happens to this team throughout the season. And let's bring up the elephant in the room, man. AD. Anthony
Mm-hmm.
Davis, man. This cat, we already know what this cat, last time I checked, you remember that diagnosis he got on his Achilles heel? That boy got
Mm-hmm.
tendinosis, man. And
Mm-hmm.
he done did something you're not supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Add weight. Add weight.
Yep.
That man done went and added weight to his body because he
Yep.
wants to bang down low and because he wants to be featured more at the five.
Yep.
I'm probably he doesn't like playing the five. I'm more thinking that it's Frank Vogel. He who told him he's gonna have to put on the weight and be the five sometimes out there
Yep.
because of his skill set. He's a big that can shoot. He could put the ball on the floor. He has a face up game. But
Biggest mistake
80's
ever.
yeah,
Biggest
80's
mistake
not a
ever.
banger, man. 80's not a
Mm-hmm.
banger like that. He you already know this man is injury prone, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel that if they with him adding on weight to his already diagnosis of him having tendinosis, meaning that he has a degenerative tendon in his Achilles.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
not a good. That's a recipe for disaster.
Basically,
That's
he's
what.
gonna have an Achilles injury.
Yeah, if he continues to like go too
Mm-hmm.
hard on it,
Mm-hmm.
that's what Kawhi ended up having. Look what happened to Kawhi. He had tendinosis. No, he had a degenerative quad, and what happened to
Yeah.
him this past season? The man tore his
ACL.
ACL.
And
Uh,
and
and,
and people were saying Kawhi didn't want to play hard, but they don't understand. Kawhi is on permanent low management because Kawhi Leonard, the way that he plays basketball, there's basketball players that are unfortunate. Dwayne Wade was like that. That's why Dwayne Wade left earlier than he needed to. Dwayne Wade was bone on bone. If people didn't know
exactly,
that.
exactly.
Brandon Roy was a killer on the basketball court. This guy's bone on bone knee intrusion got so bad it forced him to retire.
Yeah,
And then you got guys like T Mac with the back spasms. There's a lot of great players. Grant Hill. There's a lot of great players. Penny Hardaway. A lot of guys whose careers could have been way more than what it is, but it was shortened because of injuries. I'm sorry, they're not taking biogenesis. They're not taking the stuff LeBron James is taking.
yeah, that boy taking that good stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I was saying, man, people don't realize AD's situation, man. This guy added on weight. I don't think that was a great idea for him
Nope.
because uh he's now going to bang down low, man. He's gonna be seeing guy more. He's gonna be seeing Jokic. Jokic wasn't his cover, but now
Yep.
he's gonna have to see Jokic now. He's gonna have to see those Portland Trailblazer centers. He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to see DeAndre Ayton. We all know, man. Ayton
Mm-hmm.
was eating his lunch money, man, in the first round last year when he was
Yep.
gobbling up those rebounds. AD don't want to bang with those boys, man. He don't,
Yep.
because he knows it's gonna wear him down, man. That's gonna make him have to put too much effort. And when AD puts too much effort, injury always comes up and gets him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's why I
So
have to bring up. That's why I have to bring up Sade's point here. Boom. Don't be surprised if AD gets hurt this season.
yeah,
It's
don't
a
be
fact.
surprised. I
That's why
wouldn't
I
be
call him
surprised.
Anthony. That's why I call him Anthony Frailvis. That's why I always say he's one away from being injured. He's actually their best player. But the move that Frank Vogel did was the wrong move. And that's going to actually get Frank Vogel fired because certain guys are naturally supposed to stay skinny. Like Kevin Durant, naturally skinny. Kevin Garnett, naturally. You have guys who have more of a natural, lankier, lean frame. They have to stay that way. That's how efficient they are. And it's not to say they're not strong. Anthony Davis is strong. He's able to bang and bust against these types of defenders. There you go. Oh, Chicago Sky defeats Phoenix Mercury. I was worried, but they won. Thank God. I'm happy for Candace Park. I'm happy for Candace Parsons right now.
Kudos to her.
Yeah, kudos to her. But anyways, going back to what we're talking about here, the biggest thing is Anthony Davis, like Richy Rich said, because it's the law of gravity. He's added more weight on himself. So because he's added more weight on himself, that's more pounds of pressure that he's going to be putting on that body, which is not going to translate to anything good. If anything, he needs to be as light as he possibly can be, and he needs to not be playing as hard minutes as possible. but they're going to be running him from the jump because this is a circus clown show. And they're going to need him out there for wins. And they're going to do what they did to him last year. They're going to burn him out. Last year, if you notice, he had very high minutes. He was burnt out, and that's why he wasn't even there for the first round. That's why LeBron James got first rounded, because he didn't have the guy who's really the MVP, really the leader, and really the main cog on that damn team, Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is the only great player that they have. Everybody else is just whatever the freak that they are. But now let's get on to this next topic, because Richy Rich covered his portion so eloquently. Now we have to talk about it. Kyrie Irving and Kyrie Irving's debacle. Here's my take on it. Now, my stance is not a popular stance, but my stance is looking at everything from both sides, because I also wear a business hat. What people got to understand with Kyrie Irving is very clear is I don't mind Kyrie Irving taking the stance that he's taking. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Shit, I had COVID. I can tell y'all that. I didn't know if I was going to make it. I lost my sense of taste. I lost my sense of smell. That's why you guys saw for a long while, I wasn't doing videos and stuff like that. I mean, I was bad. I had moments where I was curled up on the floor in balls of sweat. I was like, what the hell's going on with me? I was shaking. I had moments where I was hot and cold. Shit, taking a shower, I had to keep turning off the water because it was like I felt like I couldn't breathe, in hot, steamy water. Shit, taking a piss, I was breathing hard doing that. I don't wish that poison on no fucking body, because I had the fucking poison. And I've been able to get on the better side of it. Thank goodness I didn't have no pre-existing condition. I'm a relatively healthy person, a relatively healthy individual. So my cells went into that mode where it fought basically this poison off. That's why I went a whole week. I didn't eat shit. I was drinking water and I was drinking Pedialyte, and that's all I could take down. For one whole week, I had lost a lot of weight. I had to get back in the gym and get all my stuff back. And now everything's starting to get back and good. I'm not fully where I need to be at, but that's what happened to me. So as a prime proponent of someone who went through this and stuff like that, I'm not telling nobody they need to take anything that they're not supposed to. It's your God-given choice to do whatever you want to do. But here's the problem. Kyrie Irving plays for a basketball team that mandates this stuff. And then on top of that, New York City is the strictest when it comes to all cities in terms of their ordinances when it comes to this COVID vaccine stuff. Kyrie Irving can't sit here and act like he did not know that. Kyrie Irving doesn't strike me as an idiot. He doesn't strike me as a fool. He strikes me as an individual that has wits about him. I'm sure he knew about this. How could you not know this? Kevin Durant has gotten vaccinated. James Harden has gotten vaccinated. The team, I knew that was the route they were going to take. Because Kyrie Irving, what you guys have to understand is he's gone years in and years out where he really has not played basketball. Since Kyrie Irving razzled and dazzled Stephen Curry, since he did his ass up, I want you guys to go look at a timeline of Kyrie Irving and him playing basketball. Kyrie Irving owes basketball time back to basketball. That's how much he ain't been fucking playing. And I've basically stood up for Kyrie Irving. Salute to you, Tom Ross, for that. I've stood up to Kyrie Irving for him big time. And I've basically had his back. Even when people were talking all that trash and saying all of these things about Kyrie Irving and all of this. But that's because I figured when the time came and the going got tough, Kyrie Irving was going to figure it out and he was going to have Kevin Durant's back. Because let's be honest and let's keep it a buck. Kyrie Irving is on the Brooklyn Nets because of Kevin Durant. It's because Kevin Durant was like, yo, I need this guy on the team. And Kyrie Irving, not only, and see, y'all got to understand Brooklyn Nets' position here. Brooklyn Nets love Kyrie Irving, actually. They threw $136 million this guy's way. And then they have another $186 million in extension for 5 years. for 5 years for this guy, so that this guy right here can basically be well off and he could take care of his family and do what he has to do. If Kyrie Irving is making the choice to don't want to be vaccinated, I can't tell Kyrie Irving what he can and can't do from a choice standpoint. But you're on the wrong team. There's other teams in the NBA that don't have the same level of mandate, that don't have the requirements that New York City and the Brooklyn Nets have. So you're going to have to make a fundamental choice here. Because if you're going to be about social justice movement and you're going to be about your people, then you're going to have to do what Maya Moore did. See, people don't talk about Maya Moore. Maya Moore got out of the WNBA since 2018 to fight for social justice movement. She's been doing it still consistently. Till this day, they asked her, do you want to come back in the 2021 season? She said no. She's still fighting. From the Drew Brees situation to getting Jeremy Irons, who ended up being her husband, out of jail situation, to a litany of other situations. That's a person that not only talks the talk, but she walks the walk. This is what I expect. Kyrie Irving, you can't have your cake and want to eat it too. You can't sit here and want to keep collecting an NBA check and then be on this movement. You got to make a choice. You came out of your mouth and said, I'm going to just retire. Fucking retire. Go in the social justice movement. You got all the money in the world. And that would be the way to really show it to these people that you don't give a flying fuck. But you know, and I know you still need that check. That's why you still going to collect $19 million, which for me, from a business standpoint, if I was Kyrie Irving's employer and I knew he was going to still collect $19 million and he wasn't going to play, that shit would hurt the fuck out of me. I'll do everything. I'd make life so hard for him to get him off the damn team. The fact that I'm still paying you $19 million and you're not giving me no services. See, y'all got to look at this shit from both sides of the aisle here. This motherfucker going to get $19 million and he's not going to play a lick of fucking basketball. I have a fucking problem with that. But he can sit there and push his agenda and push what he wants and say this and say that. You can't be 50-50 here. If this is where you're going to go and you're going to get into this profession, then basketball is not for you. Because let me tell you something about modern day sports, man. I've had this conversation with Tom Ross. I've had this conversation with Richy Rich. I've had this conversation with a number of people. Whether we want to believe it or not, athletes are modern day slaves. Whether we want to believe this shit or not. He said, this is the truth. And I'm going to go as high as to say the Michael Jordan levels. Shit, look at The Last Dance. Michael Jordan did everything he possibly could. There was still moments when fucking Jerry Krause was able to usurp him with Tony Kukoc. They didn't want no fucking Tony Kukoc. They didn't care about no damn Tony Kukoc. Jerry Krause got the Tony Kukoc on the damn team. I'm telling you guys, man, it don't matter the level you are as a black athlete. When it comes to being a black athlete, you are technically a modern day slave. As long as you playing these types of sports. Because you know why? Who are the owners? The majority of the owners. Who run them? What the fuck do they look like? They don't look like me. They don't look like Richy Rich. They don't look like Tom Ross. They are white. They're the ones that's cutting your fucking check. So when it's all said and done, that is the position that Kyrie Irving is going to be in. And here's my other issue with Kyrie Irving. If Kyrie Irving didn't have a track history of being a retractor, then I can respect what he's trying to do. That shit with LeBron James, where you basically dissed him and then you came back and apologized, you lost all my fucking respect. I don't respect you. How you gonna diss LeBron James and when Kevin Durant dissed LeBron James and he said the media is like gargling the fucking LeBron, you know LeBron James came to Kevin Durant and said, how you going? And Kevin Durant doubled down on his ass and said, yeah, I fucking said it. It ain't isn't it the fucking truth? And LeBron James laughed with him when they was with Kerry Champion. He said it right there when Kerry Champion said, it's not the damn truth. LeBron James started laughing. Kyrie Irving apologized to LeBron James publicly after he did what he did. He took a fucking L for that. Now, let me give you the other retraction. Tom Ross, Nike. Kyrie Irving said the Kyrie Ace was trash and garbage, and Nike need to go back and redo it again. Nike got mad at his ass, and Nike said, hell no. And you know what Kyrie Irving did? Another retraction. Instead of sitting there like a Kobe would do with Nike, you know Kobe don't play. Kobe, hey, y'all need to get back, go back to the drawing board. And they do go back to the drawing board. You know what he did? He apologized. Oh, I publicly am sorry for saying that the Kyrie 8s were trash and they were garbage. Actually, they look kind of decent. How can I trust somebody like that on those lower levels to retract? This is a higher level here. We're talking about whether you vaccinated or not. This is some epic shit, because everybody's dealing with this COVID shit right now. And you think that I'm not going to sit here and not trust you? Yeah, you're right, Tom Ross. Kobe and Kanye. But these are other level guys, man. When we talk about Kyrie here, I cannot trust Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving is a natural born retractor. And Maya Angelou said it best. When a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Believe them. So when it's all said and done, let's not sit here and let's not act like Kyrie Irving is not doing what Kyrie Irving is not supposed to be doing here. Kyrie Irving is full of it, man. Guys that retract, I have a fundamental problems with guys that fucking retract. I really do. Because if you retract once, you will retract again. If you retract twice, you will retract a double time. So Maya Angelou saying when a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. I have to believe what I'm seeing here. This guy has constantly retracted. So am I going to sit here and act like these retractions have not happened? And he's done it on lesser levels. Unfortunately, Kyrie Irving, like Ace Hood said, remember what Ace Hood said, dog, from Broward County? Hey, this dude, hey, y'all better listen to them trials and tribulations, dog. Ace Hood is one of my favorite rappers. I love me. There's certain Southern rappers that I love. Ace Hood, boy, from Broward County, dog. This man said closed mouths don't get fed, dog. I'm sorry to tell you. He got an expensive woman with an expensive taste. Because anytime you get a woman that look good, I'm sorry to tell you that, I don't care how awful you are, you're going to come out the fucking pocket. Yeah, that's just the way the shit rolls. And you're just going to have to deal with that. We ain't talking about no damn using and abusing. But at the same time, we also talking about taking care of and providing. That's what being an alpha is all about. Taking care and providing. So you going to pay. Now, the second element of it is the aspect of he got 2 kids. Ross, you can tell any and every motherfucker here. Kids are not cheap. And I don't care how on any level. You guys have to understand. Kyrie Irving has millions of dollars at home. Kyrie Irving has all these expenses that he has to account for. He probably got a maid that's taking care of everything. He probably got butlers and all of that. That's all nice and dandy. You helping the economy out. But it's money out your fucking pocket. Let's be honest. The millionaires got the same problem that normal people have. You know why? Because a lot of them don't just keep everything the same. Like, they don't just stay in the same $200,000 home. That would have been the smart play, right? And basically still command all of that money. That's why I like 50 Cent. 50 Cent said when he had $40 million, Ross knows this, because Ross stay abreast on these things. When 50 million had $40 million, he stayed in an $800 apartment home. That's why 50 stayed with money. I said, damn, motherfucker smart. But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people, 50 said he did that for 7-8 years before he graduated his situation. Because he had to stack up, he had to stack up, and he had to stack up, and he had to stack up. When it's all said and done, thank you, Ross. Kyrie Irving is on another bracket with his child support. And that's not to say, what about kids he don't have outside of the 2 kids he got right now? Those NBA checks need to keep coming in. Let's be honest here. Those 2 NBA checks need to keep coming in. And that is going to mean that Kyrie Irving is eventually going to have to cave in. Unfortunately, that's not popular opinion. That's not popular saying, and it's not by popular demand, but it's the facts. If you want to stay with the Brooklyn Nets, you're going to have to do the jab. You're going to have to do the vaccine because the team has mandated that. The New York City has mandated that. And if Kyrie Irving is on his stance, he's going to have to do two things here because he got two other options. There was one other option that I didn't factor in because Bradley Beal is not vaccinated. But Bradley Beal, when I did the research on it, he's on a team that's not mandating that. And the city's not mandating that. So he's in a different situation. So if Kyrie Irving is going to continue to stay on the choice that he wants to stay on, because he's well within his right to stay on the choice. Notice I'm not saying that he cannot unchoose to do that. Then he's going to have to demand basically for him to get his ass up out of the Brooklyn Nets. But here's where he screwed himself over. He said he want to retire. See, that was dumb. He shouldn't have said that because he would have still been able to have trade power. Now, I understand why he did it, so that he could basically cripple the freaking Brooklyn Nets so the Brooklyn Nets wouldn't trade him. But he also said he was going to retire. And then he went on IG. This, you see, matter of fact, this is the third retraction this motherfucker did. He went on IG and he kept saying, "Oh no. When they were asking him, Ben X and all these people were asking him, so are you going to retire?" He turned around and said, "Nah, man, I'm not going to retire." But you motherfucking said you was threatening to retire. Kyrie Irving is a walking retraction. Kyrie Irving is not Kobe Bryant. Let's just be honest here. He's not no damn Kanye West. He's not these types of guys that stand on a position. He's not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan saved Scottie Pippen so many years, saved Phil Jackson so many years because Michael Jordan just stands on a fucking position to help. He's not these guys, man. I cannot trust Kyrie Irving. And what I'm ultimately coming to the position of is Kyrie Irving's eventually going to cave in. That's my stance on it. Because when it's all said and done, no other NBA team is going to want Kyrie because he threw the retire bomb. And when you throw the retire bomb, it's like you're a walking controversy for other teams. And see, what people got to understand is black athletes are in a conundrum of a two-edged sword. When we're doing great things and we're doing great feats and we're doing things that are appropriate to what we do, it basically stands out. It blow-up-shuates us. It gives us everything we want from an athlete perspective. But let us get controversial. Let us get political. Let us get basically radicalized. We end up in a precarious situation because now all of these things that we've obtained that we know, and black athletes can't be that dumb. The Nike, when you merge up with Nike, you merge up with all of these major endorsements, you know you're going to have a problem. The reason why Kanye was able to push the way that he was able to push is because the Yeezys were low-key the second best-selling shoes after the J's, man. So Kanye had leverage. When you have that kind of leverage, you can push what you want. But Kyrie Irving ain't. Kyrie shoes is not no second best, third best, fourth best selling shoe. No, it ain't. Let's be honest. Are we sitting here saying, man, I can't wait for the next Kyries? No. We saying we can't wait for the next Yeezys. We sitting here saying we can't wait for the next J's. Shit, we're not even saying we waiting for the next LeBrons. But we say that. And when Kobe was pushing his shoes out, we always were saying, hey, man, we waiting for the next damn KDs. I remember the Hirachis. The Hirachis was sick. I used to love the Kobe Hirachis, though. Them things was sick. But anyways, I'm kind of getting off topic. Let me get back. Kyrie Irving, and this is my final point on it, is in a catch-22 here. And ultimately, the corporation is going to win in this situation. That's why Sean Marks came out as fast as he did, because Sean Marks already knew that Alibaba and what's that other owner's name? Mikhail Prokop. I can't even say his last name because that's who owns the Brooklyn Nets. Alibaba, Mikhail, and Jay-Z got a small percentage. The three of them met together, and from a bottom line standpoint, it was like, look, Either this motherfucker play full time, or we ain't dealing with his ass. Because we ain't got time for this bullshit. And that's just where it all boils down to. And the last point that I want to make, and I know this is going to be controversial, but it is what it is. If Kyrie Irving don't want to get in gear, and Kyrie Irving don't want to shape up and show out, I said this to Richy Rich right before we got on the live. Damian Lillard is going to be a great acquisition and a substitution, because Damian Lillard mentioned outside of the Los Angeles Lakers that he was looking at the Brooklyn Nets as a team that he wanted to play. So if Kyrie Irving don't figure this shit out, the Brooklyn Nets need to start looking Damian Lillard's way, man. Because Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant, and James Harden would still run roughshod all over the damn NBA. That's my take on Kyrie Irving's situation. What you got to say, Richy Rich?
And he brought
Thank
up
you,
some
Big.
great points, because this is a delicate topic to touch on, because as a human, a fellow human, man, you don't want Kyrie to put something in his body he doesn't think that he shouldn't be putting in something in his body. You don't want someone to feel that they are forced to have to take this vaccine. You want them to have their rights, because it's their body at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was looking at that when Tom Ross put that, man. That's wow, that's crazy, man. I'm hoping, man, it works out for Tom in that case. But
what? Yeah.
Yeah. Back to Kyrie, man. Like I feel for him, because he doesn't want to have to take the vaccine, and you're thinking of, okay, why don't they just test him every day? But you understand that New York is one of the states, the cities that was hit the hardest with this COVID-19. So, and that's why they're setting this mandate, just like Los Angeles. There's one of the states, one of the cities that was hit the hardest with this vaccine. So the governments over there, man, they're being a lot more serious with how that COVID situation is being handled over there. So they set mandates, man, and you gotta go with it. If you're an inhabitant of those cities, those states, you gotta comply. You gotta go along with the mandate, because that's what they said. I live in Florida. They don't have a mandate over here. The governor over here, DeSantis, he's very liberal with the COVID-19 stuff. He's one of those Trump supporters, and he doesn't really take the COVID-19 thing that serious. So in Florida, it's very, very liberal over here with the COVID-19. There's no mandates. You go places, you don't see people with masks on. This is how it is in Florida. That's how they're rocking down here. But New York, man, the mandate is serious. There are a lot of people that died over there, so they're not taking those type of precautions. They're not taking those type of risks. Same as Los Angeles. A lot of people caught the virus over there and they died. So Kyrie has a decision he has to make. If he doesn't want to play this season because he doesn't want to take the vaccine, then he's going to have to make a very tough decision. And if he wants to continue to play, he's going to have to ask that team for a trade. It's only fair because the owner, they made commitments, man. Him, Kevin Durant, James Harden, the owner. I remember I was reading an article. The guy who owns Alibaba, he basically went a little more in detail what kind of the conversation that he had with Kevin Durant and Kyrie before he signed them. When they shocked everybody and they signed with the Nets a couple seasons ago, and the goal was to compete for a championship, contend for a championship, and that's the goal. When the owner sees Kyrie doing this, he's taking Kyrie, man, taking Kyrie's commitment as if he's throwing it out the window. And exactly. you gotta look at it from his standpoint. If he has a player that's out there that's not playing because he has a stance on basically the COVID-19, and he still has to pay him, but the player can't be on the court, that owner is gonna try to get rid of him. He's gonna try to make sure he's not around the team, man. He can't, because Kyrie was saying that he was not gonna be a distraction. The day that they did that stream with them, on
You got to
opening
rewind that one, dog. You
yeah.
got to rewind. A lot of people forgot that Kyrie said that. You got to rewind that one, dog.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving said he was not going to be a distraction. That day that they
Mm-hmm.
did that live stream with him on media day, when he was
Yep.
talking with all the media outlets who were interviewing him, he said he was not going to be a distraction. And he knew full well that this was going to be a distraction, that this was going to bring the score to the team. His decision. And he he had the nerve to go on his Instagram live and mention that, that he had talks with the team saying that, that they were going to meet accommodations with him, that they were going to allow him to play. I'm like, come on, man, you can't lie like that, man. Everybody knew that New York City was mandated, bro, and it was gonna be one of those states that were very strict
Mm-hmm.
on how they approach this COVID-19, meaning that, even the teams, they were gonna have to go along with it. It doesn't if Kevin. I remember Kevin Durant called you just told all the viewers that you had COVID-19, man. I'm
Yep.
grateful that you got through that, my brother. We were praying. I was praying for you every day, bro. I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful that
Thanks.
you're still here with us and that you came
Appreciate it.
along, man. You
Appreciate it.
got by with that, man. But your favorite player, Kevin Durant, even had COVID-19.
Yep.
And Kevin Durant, he's vaccinated. James Harden is vaccinated. Even
Mm-hmm.
LeBron got vaccinated. And
Yep.
LeBron, he was one of the guys that was trying to be somewhat vocal about it. He ended up getting vaccinated. If those guys got vaccinated, what makes you think you, of all people, Kyrie, is going to be able to not get vaccinated if you're playing on a team that requires you to be vaccinated to play for them?
Yep.
You're not more of a star than those guys. So the NBA is gonna make sure, man, they put you on Jump Street, bro. So like I said, it's a very delicate topic. I'm not against Kyrie. I actually, am for him in his stance of being of not wanting to put something in his body if he doesn't have to, because we all should have that right. But
Mm-hmm.
this is not gonna work in your favor, man, because of the situations at hand, the
Yep.
circumstances. So you're gonna have to do Brooklyn Nets a solid here, man. And if you don't want to play for them, if you don't want to suit up for them because you don't want to take the vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
he has to ask for a trade, man, because he's not gonna retire. He's not gonna leave all that money on the table. He's not gonna retire at that age of
But remember,
29
he
years
screwed
old.
himself. He screwed himself over the whole trade situation. See, this is how sports work because he said retire. So other teams are not going to want to pick him up because when he said that, it gave the illusion across the whole aisle and the whole board that, oh, okay, this guy right here is basically a walking ticking time bomb. See, this is how employers see people. And Ross, you could allude to that because you was in the military. This is how they see people. They are walking tick bombs. So because you're a walking tick bomb, they have to deal with you. They have to excoriate you. So I just wanted to make those points real quick, Richie Rich.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but on Instagram Live earlier this week, he did mention that he was not going to retire. That's
A
what he said
retraction.
on his Instagram Live. That's what he said when he was, because he was trying to go back at what all these people were saying about him, and he was
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Nah, I'm not gonna retire. I'm not gonna try to you ruin my situation of where I can't play in the NBA no more." He was just going into all this stuff, but he was saying that he doesn't feel that he should have to take the vaccine because he talked with the organization and they were going to make accommodations for him, and then he felt that they at the end, the last second, that they went behind their words, and now they're forcing him to take the vaccine. And I don't know if I can believe what Kyrie Irving said, because there was no way they were going to make accommodations. If Kevin Durant got the vaccine, if James Harden got the vaccine, these are MVPs of the league, man. Past
Mm-hmm.
MVPs of the leagues, and these guys are vaccinated. They're not those. They didn't make accommodations for those guys. You have to give. You're in one of the states that has to get that. You have to be vaccinated. So
Exactly.
you gotta meet the protocol, bro. It's just they're not gonna make no arrangements for you, man. It's just how it is.
And New
And
York. in New York, so people can understand, New York has an executive order out. They're the strictest in terms of everyone for the COVID-19 mandate. They're the ones
Exactly.
that wanted to spearhead and say, hey, if you are not vaccinated, you cannot go into a inner establishment. They're checking people's status to make sure that they're vaccinated in order for them to go into inner establishments. That's what New York put out. They were the first ones to do it. And this is well before Kyrie Irving went on his rampant rage. And that's why I say the symbolism bandwagoners. That's the new term that I've given them. And I'm hoping that term runs rampant. The symbolism bandwagoners, they gonna ride with you. But when the news goes down, just like with Kwame Brown, the news went down with him. They left him. They act like Kwame Brown. Who? This is the same thing with him. Kwame Brown was trying to get Michael Jordan's attention. Michael Jordan, at the level he's at, Michael Jordan, you a peon. I'm not gonna address you. And Michael Jordan never addressed Kwame Brown. That was the win that Kwame was looking for Michael Jordan to address him. Michael Jordan is just too smart. See, at those levels, when you're dealing with MJ and you're dealing with Kobe and you're dealing with these types of levels, these guys are too smart. They're not going to address you for what? You're not on their level. Now, if Michael Jordan would have addressed Kwame, Kwame ultimately wins. And that's why Kwame Brown will stay at the level he's at, YouTubing. He's not going to graduate past that because Jordan was not going to entertain his bullshit. This is the same thing. When you look at the whole situation with Kyrie Irving, Kyrie Irving is trying to galvanize and radicalize and mobilize a whole bunch of people, but he got the wrong people. Symbolism bandwagoners are not going to be the ones to push you. They're not going to be ones to push your agenda. What Kyrie Irving is going to need, and I'm sorry to say this, he's going to need white hair, blue-eyed motherfuckers that's going to have his back. And I'm talking about the conservative kind. And it needs to be like a whole lot of them. That's the only way Kyrie Irving's agenda gets pushed. I don't see that. Outside of the three people they've mentioned, Donald Trump and the representative, and that ain't enough. He gonna need a squad. He's gonna need people that are power brokers that could really push this. But when you look at all of the power brokers in the world, even the richest people, a lot of them are vaccinated. You see, he's in a losing fucking battle here. So Kyrie Irving, and Tom Ross brought up that point that was so eloquent because I got to click on it because that point makes all the sense in the world. If you're employed, period, your boss dictates what you can say and where at work. LOL. That's facts. If you are employed, you are dictated by your boss. And I said that in one of the videos. All of these motherfuckers that sitting here, they pushing for Kyrie Irving, they doing this, they doing that. They're not going to do that same shit when it comes to their job. They're going to toe the line. They're going to get in gear. Because they know if they don't toe the line, they don't get in gear, they're going to be fired. These are facts. All these people running their mouths on YouTube and stuff like that. Listen, a lot of these people that's running their mouths on YouTube, me, I don't have nothing to hide. If my employer or whoever find my YouTube channel, what the fuck ever, I don't give a fuck. I'm not hiding nothing. You guys know me. I'm an open book. I don't hide shit. But a lot of these other motherfuckers that's on YouTube and a lot of these other places, they hide it, man. They got all these little things going on. If their employers find out that they're YouTubing, they talking like this and they will get rid of them fast. Let's be honest. And these motherfuckers can't afford to lose their jobs. So it's facts. But when it's all said and done, business is business, and people have to understand that. The Brooklyn Nets had to do what was in the best interest of their business, and they did that. It has nothing to do with Kyrie Irving. It's not personal. We're not going to have a part-time player. Could you imagine Ross, you know what I'm saying, writes books and stuff like that, and he has other business ventures going on. Could you imagine if Ross has a contractor that tells him, I'm only going to give you part-time of what I used to give? Ross will fire that motherfucker quick, fast, in a hurry. He's not going to deal with that. Who wants to deal with that? I need your undivided attention for the period of time that I've given you for what I've paid you. If I paid you this, I need that full undivided attention. It's no different with the Brooklyn Nets. So y'all gonna sit here and fault the Brooklyn Nets for basically saying, look, we don't want a part-time player. Because that's what Kyrie Irving wanted to do. And knowing Kyrie Irving as slick as he is, that's why I question if Kyrie Irving even loved basketball anymore. Because the last so many years, Kyrie Irving's been on this whole thing where he ain't really been playing basketball like that. This should have been his year for him to say, you know what? I've milked the system. He's milked the system. It's like those people that's collecting Social Security, food stamps. Y'all know, y'all got cousins, y'all got kinfolk that's doing that. And they've been milking the damn system forever. They ain't got shit wrong with them, but they collecting every check and every benefit that they can possibly get their hands on. And they collecting it without no problems. And nobody's looking down their backyard. Nobody's paying attention to them. And they know how to always make sure they get their checks in play. Kyrie Irving's been doing what those people have been doing for a number of years now. Since he hit that shot on Stephen Curry, he been getting a lot of fucking checks, and he ain't been playing the number that he's supposed to. That's not Mamba mentality. Not the Mamba mentality I know, not the one Ross know, not the one Richie Rich know, not the one that any one of you guys in the chat know. Because Kobe Bryant is all about maximizing and putting the gas temperature on E. He's going to get paid. He's going to get his just due, but you best believe he's going to work all the way until he's on E for it. Kyrie Irving is a Mamba mentality student. You fucking know better. You should know fucking better. Basketball first, motherfucker. Because I don't know Kyrie Irving as a social justice movement person. Richie Rich, there's a feedback with you. I don't know Kyrie Irving as a social rights person. I know Malcolm X for that. I know Martin Luther King for that. I know this young kid Ben X for that. I know Louis Farrakhan for that type of stuff. I know these people because they are in those. It's an actual profession. But I don't know Kyrie Irving. What I know Kyrie Irving for is him being a fucking basketball player. That's what I know him for. So when it's all said and done, like Ross just said, and he said it in a comical way, Kyrie Irving's going to cave in because Kyrie Irving just had another addition to the family. That's why I did that in that video, because I was being very, you guys know how I am. I was being very slick, but at the same time, I was pushing the point that Kyrie Irving has another mouth to feed. So because he has another mouth to feed, and like I said, kids are not cheap. There's not just no 18 years, especially when you're a celebrity. These kids are going to be following you the rest of your life, especially when you're making that kind of money. It's not cheap. So Kyrie Irving is going to fold, and he's going to cave in. You see? Jazzy Glimmer. I call you a symbolism bandwagoner. You with Kyrie for right now, right? But watch. When this news die down, you're going to act like Kyrie don't fucking exist. Let's just be honest here, man. See, I like to be honest with people. That's why I'm the ultimate truth teller. I'd like to tell the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear on this damn platform. You with Kyrie, okay. But watch when the news die down. Your ass going to be gone. That's just the way it rolls. Tom Ross TV said, Jerry Buss said he wasn't allowed to pay Kobe what he was worth by CBA rules. That's it. Exactly. You know why? Because when you have these corporations and the powers that be put things in place the way that they put it, it's to limit you, man. This is on all levels. This is in the business realm, at the lowest level, all the way up to the highest level. They always find limiters to limit you. Shit, there's a lot of stuff I want to do with my fourplex. And the city of Anchorage is basically limiting me. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. There's always limiters to what you can and can't motherfucking do. So Kyrie Irving is no fucking different. That's what I'm trying to tell people. There's this, we're going to stand for this guy because everybody else, it's the cool thing to fucking do. But the Jazzy Glimmers of the world, let your ass go to your 9 to 5 and try to get brolic with your boss. What you think's gonna happen? They're gonna get rid of you. You ain't gonna be trying to lose that damn check. I guarantee you, you're not gonna be trying to act the way Kyrie Irving was acting with the Brooklyn Nets. You're gonna toe the fucking line. You're gonna get in motherfucking gear. So what I'm saying is no different. You got a boss, you gonna have to tighten the fuck up. Otherwise, if you don't shape up and show out, they'll ship your ass out. So enough with the nonsense. Anything else you got to say, Richie Rich, on this topic?
Yeah, that's why, man. I kind of I'm looking at Kyrie's situation, man, and just like you mentioned earlier about him retracting on things, man. I think this is gonna kind of hurt him, man, especially if he retracts here because people, he has people saying that they support him, they stand with him, and I think he's gonna be kind of peer pressured into making that move to take the vax, because like you said, the things that you mentioned before of having a family, having to take care of your own and stuff like that. Also, the weight of knowing that you signed on this thing with Kevin Durant and you leaving that man behind. You know what I'm saying? In this situation, they have to carry that team in the season. Yeah, Kevin Durant had Harden, but Harden wasn't signed there originally with those two. It was just those two that went on over there and went to go sign on and do their thing in Brooklyn. James Harden came later. Will this bring about some fractured relationships? I don't know. Katie don't seem like the type that is gonna, hold this against Kyrie to ruin their relationship. But he is gonna feel some type of way. You feel me? There's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be some kind of discord there between them. But if Kyrie goes back and he gets vaxxed, people don't take him seriously now because of the comments that he's made in the past about the earth being flat. Him saying those things about being critical about LeBron and then taking it back, apologizing, saying that he knows what it's like to coach, being around young guys, playing around young guys, and he wanted to apologize with LeBron because of his experiences with LeBron and what LeBron had to deal with him when they were playing with each other. And now this situation, like you said, now Kyrie's done some admirable things, man, off the court where when them WNBA players didn't play because they did, the social injustice thing was going on in the bubble. He donated $1.5 million to those WNBA players. He's also given to charities. He's done some things that have not been put to the forefront. So he's a stand-up dude in that regard. But sometimes people think that he's just doing these things just to be different. Like he's trying to force these things on. Show people like he's just doing these things to be different. I hope that's not what he's doing. Like Tom Ross said, like he just wants attention. He's doing these things to want attention. You know what I'm saying? But I hope that's not the case. But if he does, go back and take the vax, there's going to be some backlash. And he better have some good PR, man. He better have some good PR. Or he better bust his ass and make sure the Nets win that championship. That's the only way, the people that want him to play, the people that want him to take the vax are going to forgive him. When you're looking at it from that standpoint. Now, the people that are, on his side right now, they're probably going to look at him as a hypocrite. I don't know how he's going to be able to, paint himself into someone that doesn't look like that, but he does have that history of someone that goes back when he says something. So
Exactly.
it's a very tough situation with Kyrie, man,
Mm-hmm.
because if you really want to, because he also said made a comment about him also making a stand for the voiceless. He wants to be a voice for the voices, the people who've been getting fired for their jobs because they don't want to take the vaccine. Well, I mean, you got to show, Kyrie, you got all that money. You made a lot of money in your NBA career. What are you going to do for those people who are currently unemployed? Are you going to give them some money? You've done some admirable things, man. But you gotta go against the grain, man. You gotta show that you're different. If you really want to take this stand, are you gonna create like a fund to where you could look out for some of those individuals that have been fired because they have the same views as you? They don't want to take the vaccine, yet they're in one of those states that are mandated, and they can't work if they don't show proof that they haven't taken the vaccine. What are you gonna do, Kyrie? You know, this is why this is a very tough topic to talk about, because from a human point of view, I don't want Kyrie to be forced into taking that thing, but that's where we're at right now. You heard Andrew Wiggins, who's plays for the Golden State Warriors. He's in one of the states that's mandated, and the clock was ticking. The clock was ticking, man. Bradley Beal, he's very fortunate. He's probably like, damn, I'm glad I don't have to be in their situation where I'm playing in one of the states that's not mandated, that's not forcing me to take this thing. The Wizards aren't forcing me to take this thing. You know, Andrew Wiggins outright and said it. He felt like he was forced to take it, but he's not walking away from $25 million annually, man. If he don't take it, man, he only gets a portion of that salary. He's a young player. He hasn't made his full career earnings in the NBA yet. He hasn't even. I don't even think he's made over $100 million. A guy like that is not a young cat like that is not gonna let that money just leave him, disappear from his sight. So he felt that if he doesn't take this, he's not gonna be able to earn what he wants to earn in the NBA. So Kyrie's probably felt that he's at a level where he's earned. I'm pretty sure Kyrie's made over $200-something million career earnings in the NBA. Plus, we could tag on what he's made from his endorsements. I don't know what he's made with his endorsements and Nike and other companies that have signed him on to sponsor them. But this will hurt him down the line, you know. And is he really willing? Is he willing to take those consequences down the line? I'm not sure he is, because he hasn't shown me enough that he's willing to be that kind of person. And you brought up a great point when you mentioned Maya Moore, man. She low key, man. That's someone that's serious about social justice. She put her NBA career on hold just to fight for what she believed in. Yep. And she wanted to get that guy out, Jeremy Irons. She wanted to get that guy out of prison because she felt that dude was wrongfully accused. And she was able to be successful in getting that guy out of prison, and now they're happily married, man. And now, if she's going back do I know if she's going back to the WNBA? I'm not sure.
Guess what? In 2021, she decided to not go back. Wow. So she's still fighting the fight. This is what I'm trying to tell you. They sitting here talking about Kyrie Irving. I've done the videos. If you go watch the videos on Maya Moore, I'm sure Ross have watched it. Other people watch it. If you watch the videos of Maya Moore, it's very clear. This is who's for real, and this is who's not. So don't tell me the Jazzies of the world. I don't know if you're a female or not, because if you're a female, you should be impressed by that. I don't know what you are. You could be nowadays. I may have to call you an it. I don't know. You may be an it. So with that name, you may be an it. I just don't know. When it's all said and done, if you are female, that's what you should be impressed by. Not no damn fucking Kyrie Irving, who's waffling all over the place. Maya Moore makes 6 figures. Ross, when I say this, and I'm sure when Ross saw that, he was like, damn, she makes barely 200,000, which that's already put you in the bracket of the 3%. The bracket of the 3% is 150,000 and up. If you're making that kind of money, 6 figures wise, you already in the 3% bracket in the United States, meaning you're not struggling like the other 97% of people. Now that all depends on your situation. That all depends on your finance. That all depends on how many people you got in your family. Because I mean, if you make it 150,000, you got 10 kids, and it's 15,000 each kid. No, but if you are at 150,000, you maybe have like 1 or 2 kids. That's not bad. 1 is probably preferable because, like I said, kids are freaking expensive. But She made 150 something thousand the last year of her NBA of her WNBA career. Kyrie Irving is making 34 million. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. And she left from that six figures that she last made in 2018. And here's the thing. WNBA does not even doesn't even pay their players six figures. You know how they get six figures? They have to also go and play overseas too. So really, WNBA plays their players what what you would make, Ross, probably high fives at a job. That's what the WNBA is paying these basketball players. High fives. This is what we're talking about here. And she ups and she leaves. Since 2018, nobody fucking talks about it. She talks about the Drew Brees situation. There's other stuff that she's been fighting for. She's been fighting for WNBA rights, but she's been doing it basically walking away from basketball. You want to get a he knows everything ultimate standard nod of approval? That's it right there. That goes back to what Ross was talking about. The point that I made. He should have, right there where he said he knows is saying that if Kyrie's serious, he would have walked away from basketball. That's what I'm saying. Jazzy keeps saying it's bigger than basketball. He needs to walk away and go into social justice movement. He needs to become a civil rights leader. He got money. Why he can't do that? You know why Kyrie can't do that? And let's keep it a buck. He ain't as savvy from a business standpoint as a me or a fucking Ross. He's not going to be able to use his money to be able to go into real estate and do all these other different things. Kyrie Irving strikes me as a guy that needs that NBA check left and fucking right. I read people very fucking well. I read people very fucking well. He ain't. Could you imagine if I was making 34 million or Ross was making 34 million or Richy Rich was making 30? Man, shit. That money would be flipped. Listen, $1 million go here, $1 million go there, $1 million. Don't play with me. That money will be flipping so many different ways. It's not even funny. Kyrie ain't smart like that. He's a typical basketball Negro that needs that typical basketball check. Let's just be honest. That's why his ass ain't retired. Because he need that check to keep coming in. That's why he's willing to still get the $19 million because he needs the check to come in. Let's be honest here. Now you have Maya Moore, who got out, and Ross said it because I was going to say it. She's so savvy. She knows that she could be a public speaker and make probably the same money she was making, if not more, than what she was making in the WNBA. She's probably making six figures going around public speaking and stuff like that. But now she's walking the walk because she got out of the fucking WNBA. So you respect something like that. And when they asked her, because I read about it, they asked her, are you going to come back for the 2021 season? You know what she said, Richy Rich? I'm too busy still fighting the good fight. I'm not coming back. A resounding no. Her husband is begging her to go back because he's like, man, you can ball. I still want to see, you've already done a lot of things that you need to do. I don't want you to waste the rest of your career. She said, no, I'm good. Is Kyrie going to have that same mindset that a Maya Moore has? So we got to give the Maya Moores of the world's Jazzy credit. Not no damn Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving ain't walking no damn walk. Kyrie Irving is not talking no damn talk. Kyrie Irving is basically wanting his cake and want to eat it too. If I'm going to sit down and still get $19 million, I can't take somebody that serious. I'm still basically gutting the team. I'm not giving them productivity, all because I have a whole bunch of, like I've said here, when I said exactly, Ross, thanks for your candor. These other socialism bandwagoners are just talk. They don't walk the walk. So the Jazzies of the world are just talk. They're not going to walk the walk. Because let me tell you something. I did that other video. I know all of y'all was laughing when I did that video. And Richy Rich, you need to go watch it. When I say black people party, dance, and have fun. And in the video, I showed exactly what we do. When it comes to defending somebody like Kyrie Irving, we dance, we party, and we have fun. Man, we There ain't nobody on the planet that dance, party, and have fun more than us. Go look at a TikTok. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, we not about powernomics here. If you go and look at TikTok, you go look on Instagram, you look, we always cutting the rug and we always being a fool. We know how to do that better than anybody. But when it comes to powernomics, if I say the word powernomics, I know a few people in the comment section that know what that word means. But if they don't, let me educate them. Dr. Claude Anderson wrote a book called Powernomics. And Powernomics is basically, and I'm going to simplify it for you guys, a 5-year plan that he instituted that if black people galvanize and put their heads together, which good luck, good fucking luck with that. Divide and conquer and divide, good fucking luck. If they put their heads together and they all came under one roof, in 5 years, they would have power structure, just like Caucasian folks, just like all of these other people, because of the time that and of service they put here in the United States, the blood, sweat, and tears, and how they would be able to get things back in their favor from what they've lost from the cankerworm. Don't get me started, because now I'm going in a preachy mode, and I don't even want to do that. We here teaching you guys right now. When it's all said and done, this is what they lack. This right here is probably gone over Jazzy's head. Jazzy don't even fucking know who Dr. Claude Anderson is. Don't even fucking know what powernomics is. Don't even understand that structure. When it's all said and done, that's what they are missing. And because they are missing that, the Kyrie Irving movement, Ben Castro, the Kyrie Irving movement, everybody else is literal shit. Because the people that's supporting him are the people that's dancing, partying, drinking, having fun, but they don't have no power dynamics. That means they don't have the ability to change shit. All they could change is the drink they're gonna drink, the clothes they're gonna wear to fucking party, and the next dance that they're gonna go to. That's all they can fucking change. So don't get me started on Kyrie Irving and some damn Kyrie Irving movement. Now we're gonna Richie Rich is Richie Rich is like, damn boy, that boy dropping jewels. I know when I'm dropping them gems and them jewels, man. Now let's do a little outlier conversation here, because I really want to talk about it, because I see the comment section really buzzing up. And Richie Rich, I want your take on it. And this will be real quick. You know, Chauncey Billups had to be careful one day. Ross, I don't know if you saw it on ESPN one time, but and I'm sure Big Castro see it, because Big Castro always bringing back the bullshit ESPN said. But Chauncey Billups, I thought he was gonna get fired. You know, he looked at Paul Pierce, and I want you to expound on this, Richie Rich. And he looked at it was Paul Pierce and who was it? Paul Pierce and it was somebody else. I forgot who that third person was. And he said, I don't know if y'all gonna be mad at me. I don't know if y'all gonna get angered with me or whatever. But Kobe Bryant is the most skilled basketball player the NBA has ever seen. And you know what Paul Pierce said? That's not a bad assessment. That's accurate. I honestly thought in that moment Chauncey Billups was going to get fired from ESPN. Basically, he still got a job because he didn't talk about LeBron James. He actually talked about something that made sense. So I want your take on it. What do you think about what Chauncey Billups said at that time? It was very shocking to me that he said it, but I like the fact that he said it. So what's your take on it?
My take on it is he's cut. He's. I think he was a little older than Kobe. Uh, nah, he came in the game after Kobe, a little after Kobe.
Yeah.
Or around that 95, 96
Yep.
Year timeline. So he's seen all of Kobe's body of work, man. He's seen Kobe outlast all the guys in his generation.
Mm-hmm.
And to do that, man, you have to be a skilled. You have to put in the work. You know, the game has to be, you know, you got to take the game very serious, like how Kobe used to describe the game when he was young. I remember I take the game very, very seriously, very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's a true student of the game, just like how Dwayne Wade said it. where he had the peep game when Kobe was playing Orlando in the finals that year when Kobe won his fourth chip, I believe, and they
Mm-hmm.
interviewed Wade, and Wade said,
Mm-hmm.
"Man, Kobe is what we call a master of the game. He has truly mastered the game, everything.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and to be a master at the game, man, you have to work on your craft tirelessly. You know, I
Religiously.
remember religiously. I remember when Kobe lost to got bounced in the when he got bounced in the Spurs when he was crying
Mm-hmm.
on TV that year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and Kobe, they asked Kobe, what is he gonna do in the offseason? Like, what's the next thing that he's gonna push himself to exhaustion? That's
Yep.
just the type of mindset Kobe had, man. It's not surprising to see Chauncey Billups say that about Kobe because that was one of he's always in Chauncey's top 5 lists. You know, so I remember when they asked for Chauncey's top 5 list when he was an analyst on ESPN, and Kobe was in that list. So it's not surprising seeing Chauncey say something like that because he knew how hard of a worker Kobe was and how much Kobe paid attention to detail. You know, you even see it in how brilliant of a mind Kobe was uh, when in that documentary that he have doing work. I don't know if you remember that documentary when
Mm-hmm.
they were playing
Mm-hmm.
the Spurs and Kobe's breaking down he's doing the commentary in the back uh,
Yes.
on the game, man, and you see how much Kobe was like like breaking things down, uh,
Yep.
showing how he was able to break down a play, or be 2 steps, 3 steps of knowing what the Spurs were gonna do. You
Mm-hmm.
don't just learn that off a whim, man. You have to work on that. You know what I'm saying? You have to be someone, man, who's a true observant, someone who's a truly knowledgeable about the game, man. Kobe was that.
Yep.
He was someone that didn't just take things from Jordan. He took things from other players, man, and he made it his own.
Yep.
That's why I don't have any. I kind of agree with Tom Ross when he says Kobe's the most skilled, man, because watching Kobe on the court, man, it's like watching. It's like uh, watching a painting, man. The way
Yep.
this guy, how he used to pivot, or how he
Yep.
used to like develop, like do a footwork move. You're like, damn, man, nobody in NBA is doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kobe, man, he's really making this thing look
Yep.
interesting. I'm like, I don't
Yep.
see anybody like moving their feet like Kobe. I don't see
Mm-hmm.
them posting up like Kobe. Like Kobe,
Mm-hmm.
he had like a very unique way of doing things, and that thing looked beautiful, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you
Yep.
watch Kobe, man, you like, damn, man, this cat, even though he don't make the shot, you know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, that's one of the most beautiful missed shots I've ever seen.
Thing.
It's because
Exactly.
this kid, man, he put
Mm-hmm.
time in the gym, man, to develop
Yep.
stuff like that, develop
Yep.
the craft, develop the way
Yep.
all that stuff looked on the court, man. That
Yep.
man, he, you look at
The
these
only
cats,
other person,
man.
the only other person that's been able to play at that level outside of
Is
Michael
MJ, of
Jordan,
course.
outside of Michael Jordan, and Richie Rich will tell you guys this stuff, is me, man. When I used to play basketball at my prime, I used to do shit that even I was sitting there and be like, how the fuck did I do that shit? Richie Rich will tell you. I'll put up moves because I'm trying to get the ball in the basket. I'll sit there and do some moves where I go from one side of the rim to the other side of the rim because I'm trying to win. And then I'll
Yeah,
sit back sometimes and look at this shit. I'll be like, "The fuck did I just do? How did I get that ball in the basket?" But it's because of the will. So that's why I like Kobe because I understand Kobe. Because when I played ball, that's how I used to be, man. I used to do some ridiculous things, man. Richie Rich take. There was this one time. You tell him I was playing up against this guy. They kept throwing defenders at me. I dropped 100 fadeaways, dog, back to back, 100 fadeaways, and I'm talking about single fadeaways, double pump fadeaways, double fadeaways. I'm hitting you with every kind of fadeaway you can think of. Them fadeaways looking Kobe-esque. They looking Michael Jordan-esque. They just looking beautiful. You eating a fadeaway that day, and we were playing. The whole time, all I could remember was Richy Rich kept throwing me the ball. Because Richy Rich couldn't even believe it. You so hot today, there's no need for me to do what I got to do. I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to score. And that's what I did. That was the mentality I had. I wasn't 6'6", but I had that mentality that Kobe had, that relentless mentality to just put the ball on the floor and dominate the opposition and dominate the opponent. But you know what made me so good is what Kobe Bryant was doing. Richy Rich will tell you, we had that work ethic. We'll be at the basketball court. We'll be shooting hundreds of shots up. We'll be shooting thousands of shots up. We're working on our right hand dribbling, working on our left hand dribbling. We guarding each other up, different sets, one-on-one, because we wanted to be the best defenders out there. We wanted to lock you up, but we wanted to score on your ass at the same time too. We put in the work. That's why when we stepped on the basketball court, 7-zip shutout. We ain't got time to be dealing with you. You sitting there trying to do your little Allen Iverson crossover. That's what you got to sit in the fucking bleachers. 7-zip. Next, we run fucking team. The next team, come on, 7-zip. Mad as hell. We have people. Hey man, I'm gonna get my gun, man. I'm gonna go fuck you guys up. Hey, we sitting there. We looking at them. Look here, man. You want to play again? Let's go. 7-zip their ass again, sitting them packing. That's how it was when it came to the game of basketball with us. We had that mentality. That's why when I look at a Kobe Bryant and I look at a Michael Jordan, it's that mentality, man, that relentless drive. It's because of the work. You got to put in the work in the gym, man. Why is the work in the gym so important? It's so important because when you get into these situational moments, when pressure is on the line, pressure becomes easy. Do you understand you can practice pressure? If you're a pressurized player, I'm not talking about LeBron James. LeBron James can't practice no fucking pressure. I'm talking about someone who's already built for that. If you built for that, you can practice it. Jordan used to do that. Jordan used to run 3, 2, 1 second clocks. That's why you think Jordan got so many game winners. Kobe Bryant used to do a 5 second clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4. You keep doing those simulations. By the time you step out on the basketball court, it's easy. I guarantee you LeBron James ain't running those type of simulations. That's the simulations me and Richy Rich used to run. We would guard each other and say, you got 5 seconds to get a basket off of me. And then I'll turn around on a defensive set. And I'm talking about we running defensive sets back to back on each other. We don't care if we're tired because we understand basketball is 94 feet. And we doing this off 94 feet sets. Don't get me fucking started. Me and Richy Rich used to play with a tennis ball. This is how dedicated we were to basketball. Ross, I don't know if you play with a tennis ball. This is for people that really love the fucking game of basketball. You know why we play with a tennis ball? Here's what our ideology. If you could play basketball with a tennis ball and you can dribble it efficiently, a basketball feels like the ocean. You can cross over with a tennis ball. You can put that shit through your legs. You can go from behind the back. You can do all of that. Man, a basketball is so easy at that point. We became so great with ball handling using a fucking tennis ball. That's dedication right there. That's fucking dedication. That's why when we got on the basketball court, nobody could rip us. Nobody could check us. We was just virtually unstoppable because we were doing unconventional things. Why am I saying all of that? That is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant does unconventional things. Kobe Bryant wakes up at 4 a.m. and basically drops 1,200 shots. Then by the time it's 7 or 8 a.m., y'all need to go read Kobe's book. By the time it's 7 or 8 a.m., he's in the gym shooting again for another few hours. Then by the time it's 11 o'clock, he's hitting the weights. By that time, most basketball players are starting. You know what Kobe Bryant said? I've already done 3 times the work that you've done in one day. And if you multiply that times 365 days, you can never catch up. You can, and it's the truth. No basketball player in his era was able to catch up with him. If you look at Allen Iverson, his light dimmed. T-Mac, light dimmed. Because they didn't work like Kobe. If they worked and they trained like Kobe, they probably wouldn't have broken down as fast as they did. Paul Pierce, light dimmed. Kobe was still around. Rama fucking Langing. Vince Carter, from a star standpoint, I'm not talking about role player standpoint, light dimmed. But Kobe Bryant was still able to dominate and still able to score because he did unconventional things that got him to the next place. Kobe Bryant, you got to be a true Kobe fan to know this. I'm sure you know this, Ross. Kobe Bryant took on tap dancing in the 2000 season when he hurt his ankle. I don't know if y'all remember that. Kobe Bryant had got injured and he hurt his ankle. He took on tap dancing, and you know what the tap dancing did, Richie Rich? It made his ankle stronger and it made him faster on the basketball court. If you guys remember that next year, his first step was even faster than it was the year before because tap dancing made his lower extremities. It made his lower extremities so much powerful and so much more explosive. These are the unconventional things that Kobe Bryant has done, and that's why I laugh when people sit here and they try to put LeBron James on the same level Kobe. They don't understand the work ethic. A lot of you see LeBron James now has a trainer and all of that. Guess who he got that shit from? He got it from Kobe. He got it from Kobe. Thank you. He said all real hoopers run that simulation. Facts. Because all real hoopers know what time it is. If you notice, LeBron James in the 2008 season, if you guys go back to 2007 season, going into 2008 season, LeBron James was eating Twinkies and he was eating McDonald's. He was eating all kinds of garbage. You remember that, Richie Rich? And then LeBron James turned around and saw the way that Kobe Bryant was working. He was like, this guy's not human. He's a robot. I need to be working the way that this guy's working. I need to be as efficient as this guy. And then he turns around and ends up having the efficiency the next year. Go look at his development. All of these guys started getting training. Wade went with Tim Grover. Wade wasn't doing that before. LeBron, Mike Mancini. All of them have personal trainers now. Who the fuck you think they got that from? Come on, man. All of these guys had record years in the NBA the next year after going through that whole USA of Kobe Bryant drilling these motherfuckers. All of them. Go look at their numbers the next freaking year in the NBA. That's why I laugh when people say LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant. Let's look at the 2013 Jazzy. That's why I say you must be an it. Let's look at the 2013 NBA season. What happened in the 2013 NBA season? In the freaking All-Star game, Kobe Bryant blocks LeBron James twice and rips him up twice. He checks him 94 feet. So much so that when Kobe Bryant went to lock him up a fifth time, the referees had to get involved and gave LeBron James a foul. That's how embarrassing it was. And Kobe Bryant, from a physical standpoint, was past his prime, locking LeBron up. But LeBron was supposed to be at his prime at that time. Don't get me started. And let's not talk about when Kobe was guarding LeBron James 94 feet when Kobe was in his prime. Kobe used to rip up LeBron James. I want y'all to go watch a video. It's on YouTube. Kobe got the number 8 jersey. You know what I'm talking about, Richie Rich. He's in the Lakers. LeBron James is in the Cavaliers jersey. Kobe Bryant picks him up 94 feet and rips his ass up. LeBron doing all the push-off in the world. Kobe rips his ass up, takes the ball down the other lane, and scores. This is why I laugh when people say LeBron James is better than Kobe, and they're like, well, LeBron is such a locomotive, he can't be guarded. I've seen Kobe lock him up. So I know because Kobe has locked up LeBron James, Michael Jordan can lock up LeBron James. And LeBron James is not the biggest physical specimen the NBA has ever seen. That's another bullshit they sell you. Because if you want to talk about physical specimens, check this out, Richie Rich. Michael Jordan had a 48-inch vertical leap. You know there's not a basketball player that has come in the NBA that has had a higher vertical leap than Michael Jordan. The next highest vertical leap is Zion Williamson. That's 45-inch. LeBron is nowhere near that list for vertical leap. 48 fucking inches. Jordan ran a 4-2. Jordan is the physical specimen the NBA's ever seen, and Jordan's hands is the size of a center. So stop the nonsense about LeBron James as his physical specimen. It's Michael Jordan. Now, Kobe Bryant became a physical specimen through the work ethic and him building his body up and all that. Kobe wasn't like that. He was more frail when he came in and stuff like that. But Jordan already had these physical tangibilities with him. The hands, the mitts. Phil Jackson talks about it. Kobe didn't have the mitts, but Kobe's skills basically offset the mitts. That's why you see Jordan could do the one hand. He can palm. Jordan would sit there and have that one hand with the basketball way out. Because he has those fucking mitts. The only other person I know that has those mitts that Jordan have, and that's why he's so great on defense, is Kawhi Leonard. If you guys remember, Kawhi Leonard took his hands and put it right next to Shaq, and his hands was just as big as Shaq. That's why Kawhi's so great on the fucking defensive end, because he got the same mitts that Jordan had. But Kawhi don't have that athleticism, and he damn sure don't have that speed. So don't hand me that nonsense about LeBron James is the biggest physical specimen the NBA has ever seen. Bullshit. It's bullshit. See, that's been debunked. And here's the other thing too. Yeah, Kobe Bryant has the most field goal attempts ever, because Kobe Bryant was on a lot of teams where he had to play with Smush Parker and Devin George. Let LeBron James play with Smush Parker and Devin George. He's gonna be pulling his head out. I guarantee that. He's not gonna make it. Now, what you got to say, Richie Rich?
I mean, just to add on that, man, it's just, like you said about Kobe Bryant, man, he was just doing things, man, that other players weren't doing. His work ethic was on a whole nother level than these other guys. These guys didn't take the game as serious as he did. They may have thought they did, but they weren't, because they weren't doing it on Kobe's level, man. Kobe wanted his will to win. I just, at that time, man, you just saw there was a difference between him and the field. T-Mac, he was a talented player, a nice scorer and all that. A guy that could play make for others and stuff like. But I felt that T-Mac didn't really give us his best, the best of T-Mac when we're looking at his career, or he didn't work as hard as Kobe Bryant. T-Mac, he came in with Kobe, man. He came in a year after Kobe, but he was someone that hang with Kobe a lot in their younger years. And he would tell you how Kobe, man, how crazy Kobe was. The things Kobe was saying, where he's saying that he's not scared of Michael Jordan. When he gets in the league, he's going to go at Michael Jordan. He wants to be the best in the game. He was basically saying, it was crazy. And pretty much, man, Kobe, man, that dude, that's just how he was, man, and his whole approach to the game was just on another level. And when you look at, I'm gonna go back to the footwork. When you see his footwork, you see other guys trying to mimic Kobe's or do the things that Kobe was doing. I remember when LeBron tried to mimic a move that Kobe did, man. It was a travel. The referees called it a travel. That move where Kobe, when he bounced the ball off the backboard, and he moved his feet in a way to where it was legit. And Kobe caught the oop and dunked it. When LeBron tried to do it, he moved his feet, but he shifted his feet. And I remember they immediately called it a travel because he couldn't move his feet the right way. Like Kobe had a way of moving his feet. That move where he did on Brandon Roy and LaMarcus Aldridge, when he dropped 65 points on the Blazers that day, where it looked like Kobe was about to step and bounce, but he was able to shift his feet because he put a fake move on Brandon Roy. He faked him out, and then Kobe turned around, and he was able to keep both feet inside. It was at the sideline. It was a sideline 3-point shot. Kobe was able to keep both feet inside, and he was able to hit a 3 on both LaMarcus Aldridge and Brandon Roy. That was when those cats played on the Blazers, man, and they were giving the Lakers a tough game. Those were the years when Kobe was playing with Smush Parker, Chris Mihm, Kwame Brown, and he had to basically carry the Lakers into the playoffs, man. He had to go on these crazy scoring binges to carry the Lakers in the playoffs, and he got them in the playoffs that year. But Kobe that was one of the years where I believe he was the leading scorer that year. Kobe was just going in, man. He was showing some of his best stuff, man. From a skill standpoint. And whatever, all the stuff he was showing was better than what everybody else was doing, man. It was just like night and day, like apples and oranges, man. when we was looking at Kobe and we was looking at what the other guys was doing. That's how I always
Mm-hmm.
looked at his game. I'm looking at the other shooting guards in the game. They just don't stand up. They just don't look like this guy. You know, D Wade was my favorite player at the time, but D Wade was more like an athletic player. You know, but D Wade had his own little spin on it. He would do like Euro steps and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And D Wade was really good at the mid range, but nobody was doing what Kobe Bryant was doing, man, and at a shooting guard position. You know,
Yep.
they're saying Devin Book is the baby Kobe, but Devin don't look like Kobe, man. Devin got his own game, but he don't look
Yep.
like Kobe, man. I don't know what them cats are saying. Kobe, man, he just brought like an art type of way from the shooting guard position. I don't know if we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna see that again. We've seen that from Michael, we've seen that from Kobe, but I haven't seen any all the other shooting guards that have come after. I don't see that. I don't see that from them, man. I'm hoping we get it. We get another cat that brings that kind of game to the NBA because it's exciting to watch, man. Because it's crazy, man.
But
But
see, John Smith, do you see John Smith? That's why you look the way you look in that profile pic. Anybody that look like that is gonna say LeBron is the GOAT. Anyways, let me explain something. Because I think this needs to be explained. Jordan was built to dominate basketball. He was naturally built to dominate basketball. Kobe Bryant built his body up to naturally build basketball. Kobe Bryant is Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. They are, although they're similar, there's fundamental differences in the way that they approach the game. Michael Jordan is more of a, I'm going to go get the high percentage shot. I'm going to try to close this thing out as close to the rim as I possibly can. That's why if you look at a lot of Jordan's baskets that he's won and game winning shots, that's just the way he rolls. Kobe, on the other hand, I'm going to check this thing up wherever. I don't give a damn. As long as it goes in, we need to win. That was Kobe Bryant's mindset. Shoot it wherever. But Kobe was a better shooter than Michael Jordan. Phil Jackson alluded to that. When they asked Phil Jackson the comparisons and the differences between Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant had more skills. Phil Jackson even said that. Phil Jackson said he was a better scorer. These things are absolutely correct. If you look at Michael Jordan's fadeaway had limits on it. Jordan can fade up to about the free throw line, maybe a little bit outside of that. Kobe is fading you up almost near half court. That's what people don't understand. If you guys want to see Kobe Bryant's contortion of fadeaways and you want to see the uniqueness of it and you want to see Kobe Bryant's ability to fade in between two defenders, you got to go watch the fadeaway that Kobe Bryant. This is the one I'm going to say Ross going to be like, whoosh. The one that he did right in between Brandon Roy and another Portland Trailblazer defender. The level of degree of difficulty for Kobe to pull that fadeaway off. Till this day, that fadeaway gives me goosebumps because you got to understand how close he is from being out of bounds to fade away between two guys that's really smushing him like a sandwich, and he still gets the fadeaway off. Kobe Bryant's degree of difficulty, you guys need to go look at the two shots he put on Ruben Patterson. One was from half court, and the other one was from it was damn near half court. That's why Ruben Patterson quickly signed those damn shoes at the end of the game. Kobe Bryant's degree of difficulty in terms of scoring and how he puts the ball on the floor is off the fucking charts, man. There's nobody in the NBA, not even Michael Jordan, who has that level of degree of difficulty when you're talking about basketball. I'm nobody's fanboy. So you better get that correct. He knows everything is an independent contract over here. You better get that correct. Nobody's fan. They're he knows everything's fanboys. Get that shit correct. Now, anyways, I had to G check real quick. Anyways, back to what we were talking about here. Kobe Bryant and his ability to score, his ability to put the ball on the floor, his ability to just ram-a-lang people is second to none. You have to watch his flowing ability and motion. Richie Rich can testify this to you guys. This was one thing I don't think I've said this one to Ross before, but Kobe Bryant used to give me headaches, but good kind of headaches. I used to watch a Kobe Bryant game and walk away with a headache, and maybe my blood pressure go up. I don't know. Richie Rich will tell you, I'd walk away from that game excited as hell. I think I've had the most excitement watching Kobe even more than MJ. MJ, the reason why I didn't have too much excitement is because I knew MJ was just gonna do it. Richie Rich, remember every year, hey, the Bulls gonna win. We used to walk in school, tell motherfuckers, hey, the Bulls gonna win. They used to be mad at us. You from Miami? Why you picking it? Cause they got Michael Jordan. They ain't gonna fucking win. And when Michael Jordan retired the first time, I was a little kid. I tell you, I cried. Hey, I like to be honest with people here. I cried when Michael Jordan retired, man. I was like, fuck, no more guarantees. For 2 years, I was crying. And then when Jordan came back, man, I cried of happy joy because I knew he was going to come over and dominate the league. Then they lost to Orlando. I was mad as hell. And I said, you know what? MJ going to come back strong. And then what happened? He damn near swept the damn Orlando Magic. And then when I saw that happen, okay, repeat, is coming back. And they came back. I know I got off topic, but I'm going to get back. Kobe is the type of basketball player that puts in work. He studies the game on such a level that even annoys Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has talked about how Kobe Bryant used to annoy the hell out of him because Kobe Bryant's a student. He's always studying. In a lot of ways, that's how my relationship with Ross. I'm annoying. I'm like Kobe in that regard. I'm like Kobe because I'm annoying because I'm always trying to get that edge like Kobe. I'm always trying to get that edge. I'm annoying that way. So I understand Kobe Bryant when it comes to that mentality. Kobe's very annoying because he's annoying in a good way. It's a good annoyance. It's an annoyance of wanting to improve. It's an annoyance of wanting to develop his basketball game. It's an annoyance of him wanting to take himself to the next level. And look, he passed away, but in his passing away, people are finally realizing the icon that this guy is, the impact that he's had. Shit, Kobe Bryant's impact is so lethal that a WNBA basketball player has a Mamba name that's affiliated with him. She's called the White Mamba. No, he's not the seventh best basketball player. Kobe Bryant broke all the Los Angeles Lakers record books. Even Magic Johnson said Kobe Bryant's the greatest Laker. So if Magic Johnson is second on your list, you got to push him. You got to push his ass off and put Kobe Bryant over him. Kobe Bryant broke all the records for the Los Angeles Lakers. What the fuck you talking about, man? You don't know basketball. You really don't fucking know basketball. I can already see you are a basketball peon brain. Kobe Bryant should not be lower than top 5 on anybody's fucking list. If you, I don't care if you have Kobe Bryant 2, 3, 4. You better have Kobe Bryant no less than 5 on your fucking list. If you do, you don't fucking know basketball. It's just that simple. I'm not telling you need to Kobe Bryant need to be number 2 on your damn list, like me, but he should be in your fucking top 5. And if he's not in your top 5, your basketball knowledge is severely questioned on so many levels. For a guy who sat on the bench for 3 years and to break Michael Jordan's scoring, come on, man. Jordan scored over 30-something thousand points. I know saying this is making Ross like, fuck, this motherfucker really showing me the Kobe knowledge he got. Kobe sat on the bench for 3 fucking years and still put up 30+ thousand points. Y'all don't get it, man. Y'all really don't get how great Kobe is, dog. Y'all don't get it. And this is a guy who people sat there and looked at Kobe and it was like, thank you, Joanne Desier, when you said Kobe top 3, I could accept that. When people sat there and look at Kobe Bryant, they don't understand it. Even Magic Johnson said, man, Kobe Bryant, you are part of the ranks. When Kobe won that 5th ring, you part of the ranks. Because Kobe checked the situation with Shaq. When they try to say, well, Shaq got the finals MVP, Kobe said, everybody knows what really happened. Everybody knows that really I'm the MVP. I'm the one that got him the ball. I'm the one that got him to his best plays. I'm the one that put him in position. Go look at Shaq's greatest plays with the Lakers. Who was the one that gave him the fucking assist? See, they want to talk about, they don't never want to talk about that. Shaq's greatest play is that damn alley-oop against the Portland Trailblazers. Am I lying? Who crossed up Scottie Pippen? You got to have some hellified handles to cross up some damn Pippen. This motherfucker crossed up Scottie Pippen, lethal, and yoked up an alley. Who's the one that did that? Kobe Bryant, man. Don't get me started. If you got Kobe as number 3, I have no problems with that. You know why? Because if as long as you got Kobe Bryant in your top 5, I have no fucking problem with that. But Kobe Bryant is number 2 because I am biased to the Michael Jordan Kobe Bryant game. That's the greatest game I've ever seen play. I'm biased to that shit. Anybody that knows me knows that. When it comes to that game, there's no game I've seen in basketball that is more complete than those games. That's why you got Kevin Durant studying those guys religiously. Why do you think I'm so impressed with Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant studies Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant religiously. There's no games in basketball that's more complete because these guys have mastered the game of basketball. Kareem has not mastered the game. Kareem mastered the sky hook, but he ain't mastered the game of basketball. Magic Johnson, yeah, but it's okay to be biased. Everyone's biased. You're biased too, Jazzy. You're biased to the fact that you don't understand that Kobe Bryant is a top 5 player. But your bias has basically what we would say, your bias has tunnel vision. My bias has logic. See, I'm logical with my bias because I can prove my bias. That's the difference. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan's game are so complete that there's nothing they don't do on the basketball court. They can defend you. They can guard you. I mean, they can guard the best player on the opposing team that night and lock them up. They both have 9+ all first defensive team. Tell me when LeBron James has done that. Tell me when any of these other guys in the GOAT conversation has done that. None of them have done that. Guard the best player. Magic Johnson ain't guarding no damn. He leave that shit to James Worthy and all these other people. Don't get me started. Larry Bird ain't doing that. He's leaving that to Dennis. What was his name? The one that passed away, the shooting guard, Dennis. The one that Michael Jordan was torturing. Damn, I can't remember his last name, but his first name is Dennis. Larry Bird leaving it to those guys. Kevin McHale's, Robert Parrish, he's leaving it to those guys. If Larry Bird's not committing on you defensively the whole game, locking you up and then dropping 40 on you, come on, man. Stephon Marbury talked about it. He said Kobe was, y'all don't understand Kobe's great. Kobe would sit there and lock you up and drop 40 on you at the same time. The only other basketball player I know to do that is Michael Jordan. That's why the Michael Jordan Kobe Bryant game is the greatest game the NBA has ever seen. Because those two, thank you, Dennis Johnson. It was off the tip of my tongue. Thank you, Big Castro. Dennis Johnson. Those guys, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas had Joe fucking Dumars. Those guys are not sitting there guarding you the whole night. Isaiah Thomas ain't guarding you the whole night. That's why you got Dennis Rodman. That's why you got all those guys. Those guys are doing the dirty work. Well, Kobe's doing it. Do you guys understand that Kobe Bryant played the dual role? When I said that, even Richy Rich was like, you ain't lying. The only other person I've heard that come out of his mouth is Ross. Kobe Bryant has played the dual role of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. He's had to put up Scottie Pippen level defense and Michael Jordan offense at the same time. He's played both those roles. Y'all don't understand it. If Kobe had a Scottie Pippen, Kobe would be running the league fucking roughshod. He didn't have Scottie Pippen. So he had to be Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. The level of craziness, that's why the Detroit Pistons won that series. Kobe had to go turn around, guard up. Kobe would guard up Chauncey Billups, lock them up, but then you would have Rip Hamilton going off. Then when Rip Hamilton go off, Kobe go lock up Rip Hamilton. Then Chauncey Billups. Kobe can't split himself in two people to lock both of them up at the same time. Then Chauncey Billups will turn around and go off. That's what y'all didn't understand. That's why the Los Angeles Lakers couldn't win that series, because Kobe can't split himself in 5. And then Shaquille O'Neal goes around, turns around, get 400 fucking pounds. And then Ben Wallace is never in his life is supposed to ever. Am I lying, Richy Rich? Ben Wallace is never in his life supposed to ever dominate Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal was so out of damn shape. And here's the thing. No fucking excuses. Kobe Bryant was going through the whole Colorado situation, but Kobe Bryant still was in enough basketball shape to play that whole series. That fucking year. People forget that happened during that calendar year. When it comes to Kobe, I know everything when it comes to Kobe. I digest this motherfucker left and right. He did Colorado that year and still was in enough shape to play the way he played in that NBA Finals. So what was Shaquille O'Neal's excuse for being 400 fucking pounds? But y'all don't understand that, man. Y'all don't get this. And There was a time, Richy Rich will tell you, there was a time when I had told you, you remember Richy Rich, you're gonna have to testify this to the people. I told you Kobe was greater than Shaq. Even you got mad at me. You was like, man, Kobe got shit. Kobe will never win again. I remember y'all, boy, you and Dave, y'all was getting at me. Hey, man, Kobe got a lot. I kept telling y'all, I said, listen, man, you don't understand the talent that's in front of you right now, though. Kobe gonna fuck around and win more titles. I told y'all that. And I say he's gonna win more titles than freaking Shaquille O'Neal when it was all said and done. That's why I was right there celebrating when he won the 5th ring. Because I knew he was gonna talk shit to Shaq, and he talked shit to Shaq. What he told Shaq? I got 5. Had that. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Because the 2 years before that, Shaq said, Kobe, how does my ass taste when he won with Dwayne Wade? Kobe sat there and see 2009, boom, 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 he got 4. And then 2010, boom, 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 he got 5. And the first motherfucker he mentioned was Shaquille O'Neal. And I sat there and I remember I called Richy Rich. I said, hey, you gonna concede right now, dog? You gonna concede? You gonna say Kobe greater than Shaq? And then that was it, dog. He had no choice but to say it at that point. Because even he got caught up in the whole finals MVP. But what people don't understand is Kobe Bryant took the NBA finals off. If you're a real Kobe Bryant fan, you know this. Kobe Bryant basically did all the heavyweight lifting from round 1 to round 3. Kobe Bryant bust the Sacramento. I need y'all to go start looking at Kobe Bryant stats. Kobe Bryant bust up the Sacramento Kings. Laced up Doug Christie. Doug Christie was a hellified defender. Kobe laced his ass up. Kobe would turn around and lace up the Portland Trailblazers. Dog, y'all don't understand Kobe, dog. Kobe would lace up Tim Duncan. You remember the year Tim Duncan won the MVP? What? Kobe Bryant dunked on him like 20 times and told his ass MVP fucking that and sent his ass packing. Listen, man, y'all don't understand Kobe Bryant's greatness, dog. And you know Kobe Bryant is the only other basketball player to guarantee that he will win a series. Kobe did this with Tim Duncan. You remember that? You remember when Tim Duncan won the MVP? Ross, I know you got to remember this shit, dog. Tim Duncan won the MVP, and Kobe Bryant said, well, I guarantee we're going to win the damn series. And what happened that year? They won the damn series, man. He's the only other player outside of Michael Jordan. Remember when Michael Jordan said, we will win game 7. We will. Dog, that shit always give me goosebumps. You want to get me goosebumps? When Michael Jordan say that shit, we will win game 7. Indiana still got to come from Chicago. That shit give me goosebumps. Utah, you still got to come through Chicago. Hey, that shit give me goosebumps. That means you believe in yourself. Still got to come through Chicago. Richy Rich, you know what I'm talking about. That shit give you goosebumps. You still got to come through Chicago. That means you ain't beating me. And you remember when they tried to clown Michael Jordan with Utah Jazz and Shaquille O'Neal, and they said Shaquille O'Neal couldn't beat the Utah Jazz. You heard what MJ said? I ain't fucking Shaq. I ain't fucking Shaq. Meaning, hey, this is another level. That's the mentality Kobe had. This is Tim Duncan here, man. Tim Duncan is one of the greatest basketball players. He's in my top 5. Y'all want to know my top 5? Shit. Michael Jordan is number fucking 1. Kobe Bryant is number fucking 2. Now, I know a lot of people say Bill Russell and all that, but Bill Russell won 11 fucking rings when there was 10 teams around. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I can't put him in the top 5 over some shit like that. But I'm not going to lie. He got 11 fucking rings. My number 3 is Kareem. My number 4 is Magic Johnson. But you know who my number 5 is? My number 5 is Tim Duncan. That's who my number 5 is. Tim fucking Duncan. Greatest power forward the NBA's ever seen. There's not even no question in that. Greatest power forward the NBA's ever seen. If you question that, you question in basketball. Greatest. This man has dominated Kevin Garnett. He's dominated. Shit. There's been moments. Ross will tell you this. Richy Rich, you know this too. There's moments I used to get mad at Shaq because Tim Duncan used to ramalang him. And I wanted to put my foot all up in Shaq's ass. Cause I'm like, how you letting Tim Duncan do you up? Tim Duncan used to do up Shaq, dog. Don't get me started, man. And it take Kobe Bryant to come in and save the day. Y'all don't understand how many times Kobe Bryant saved Shaquille O'Neal. Y'all don't understand it, man. Y'all really don't understand it. So I said all of that so that you guys could understand why Kobe Bryant is the great basketball player that he is. Because a lot of people don't give Kobe Bryant credit for all of that. He orchestrated those offensive teams for the Los Angeles Lakers, and he was the defensive leader on those teams. He was the most disciplined guy. Those veterans, they hated him, but they fucking respected him. Rick Fox, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Joy, they respected Kobe. Because Kobe wasn't doing all that partying crap that y'all was doing. He was all about freaking basketball. And y'all think Kobe Bryant used to get in Shaquille O'Neal's face. There was one time Shaq said, man, I was going to muff up the little brother, dog. That thing made me laugh. Kobe Bryant got in his face and mushed him, dog. That's why I like Kobe, because Kobe is not afraid to get in your face and challenge you. The only other person I know to do that is Michael Jordan. That's why I'm biased to those guys, because of every element that those guys have brought to the game of basketball. Olajuwon damn near would have destroyed Ben Wallace. You are absolutely correct with that. And Kobe carried Shaq. Damn right, when Shaq was a liability. You remember that year when Kobe dropped 30 points even? Shaq got mad because he knew at that moment Kobe Bryant was basically going to be the number one option. You remember that, Richy Rich? So Shaq started doing stupid shit like telling Phil Jackson, hey, I need touches. I need this. I need that. And he started causing rifts, unnecessary rifts. Listen, motherfucker, Kobe willingly gave you the supposed number two option, even though he wasn't number two in the finals. It was your motherfucking turn to basically be the number two all the way fucking through. And you couldn't even do that. Shaq's a big fucking baby. Why do you think I call him Big L fucking Stoopy Toe? Where do you think that name came from? It came from all of those years of me watching Shaquille O'Neal not maximizing his potential. There's no reason why Kobe and Shaq shouldn't have won 6 or 7 rings. And see, what people don't understand is when Shaq started declining, Kobe was going to be the one to collect the finals MVPs. And Kobe would have had more than just the 2 finals MVPs he would have had. Do you guys not understand? If Kobe won all of his NBA finals, Kobe would have 4 finals MVPs because he would have had the finals MVP against the Detroit Pistons. That's guaranteed. And he would have had the finals MVPs against the Boston Celtics. I've had this conversation with Richy Rich, and I've had this conversation with Big Dave. He would have had 7 rings and 4 finals MVPs, and I would have been able to argue Kobe Bryant with Michael Jordan, with the best of them. In terms of NBA GOAT, because he would have met 2 requirements to be in that GOAT status. He would have 4 more finals MVPs, and he would have 1 more NBA finals than Michael Jordan. And he would have been perfect. He would have been 7 for 7. He would have had 100%. How could you not sit there and say that he is not the GOAT right there with MJ at 100% NBA finals? How? That argument would have been legit, but it didn't happen. So because it didn't happen, I got him as number fucking 2. That's the only reason why I got Kobe number 2. Don't get the shit twisted. It's for no other reason. That's it. But you guys have to understand, Kobe played in an era where the San Antonio Spurs was also dominating. That's why if you go look at Tony Parker has a biography. Y'all need to go watch it. Richy Rich, I implore you to watch this on Netflix. You got the Netflix account, so you know. He basically talked about in that Tony Parker, Kobe Bryant talked in that biography. He said, man, Tony took some of my championships, dog. These are the people that Kobe had to play up against. That Portland Trailblazers team with Scottie Pippen in them, with Rasheed Wallace. You remember how dangerous that team was? That team had your favorite player. What was his name? Damon Stoudemire. He was a mighty mouse at that damn time. Man, that team was lethal. The Sacramento Kings with Chris Webber, Doug Christie, White fucking Chocolate. That team was lethal. They had Peja Stokovic. Man, that team was lethal. Y'all don't understand, man. This is what Kobe had to go up against. And those 3 rounds, I want y'all to start looking at Kobe Bryant, Richard. The next time we get on live, I'm going to start putting it up. I'm gonna show you guys Kobe Bryant's stats. Kobe Bryant would have like 34.5 points. He had like 12 assists. He averaged 12 assists, 10 rebounds, and like 5 steals in any one of these damn series. And then when the NBA finals come around, he'll just he'll take the foot off the pedal and say, Shaq, you guarding a French fry, you guarding a barbecue chicken opponent down there. Here, you can go ahead and get the finals MVP because you guarding somebody that you should dominate. So Kobe Bryant would just dump the ball to Shaq and basically take the foot off the gas. And then when Shaq ain't doing what he's supposed to, Kobe will ram-a-lang somebody real quick in the backcourt. But for the most part, that's why Shaq won those finals MVPs. It wasn't because Shaq was greater. It was because Kobe Bryant did all the heavyweight lifting for the first 3 rounds, basically took the foot off the gas and dumped the ball to Shaq in the NBA finals. Everybody that know basketball know this. If you really fucking know basketball, you know this. That's what happened. Wasn't nothing else that happened outside of that. And Shaq's so damn lazy. Man, you remember the articles I used to send you? Ross, I don't know if you know this. If you know this, Ross, I know you know. Now I'm gonna put you on another level. There's articles that I used to show you, Richy Rich. You remember on Yahoo when Shaq used to make excuses because he used to come late to the practice? Shaq used to say stupid shit. That's why I call him El Stupido. He used to say stupid shit like when Phil Jackson asked him why you came late to practice, they would find his ass. Shaq would say, there was a chicken in front of the vehicle. There was a chicken and its little chicken nets in front of the vehicle, so I had to wait for them to pass. Yeah, I don't know if other people remember that. I remember that. That's why I used to come late to practice. Stupid excuses. And then he'll come back the next day, back to back, after he's late to the practice, come with another stupid excuse. There was an ice cream truck, and the ice cream truck had a bunch of kids, and they was just chilling. Probably was sitting there eating up fucking ice cream. That's why he got 400 pounds that damn year. And there was chicken still crossing. But Phil Jackson would say, you just said the chicken story the other day. At least if you, this is what Phil said. That's why I like Phil. Phil's gangster. Phil said, if you're going to lie, at least don't bring up the same story twice. At least bring up something new. You was on to something with the ice cream truck. Then you're going to say the chicken again? I love that, man. There was a bunch of those moments. That's a bunch of those excuses Shaquille O'Neal used to make on why he couldn't make it to practice. And that's why he got fat as fuck that year, man. And that's why the Los Angeles Lakers suffered the way they did against the Detroit Pistons, because Shaq was believing in his own stock. He was the diesel, that he had all this damn size. And that because he was the diesel and he had all this damn size, he could just dominate, which was nonsense. It was so much nonsense on so many levels. All he had to do was stay at 315. That was his weight, 315. If he would have stayed at 315, the Los Angeles Lakers would have dominated. And there's another fun fact here. And then once I say that, I'm going to toss the end part to Richy Rich. Jerry Buss picked Kobe over Shaquille O'Neal. People think that Kobe's the culprit. The culprit was Jerry Buss the whole time, because Jerry Buss is a businessman. Jerry Buss said, why would I pick a 32-year-old fat guy that's declining left and right when I have a 25-year-old guy who hasn't even hit his prime yet? Who you think I'm picking? See, they blamed it on Kobe. They said Kobe wanted Shaq out of LA. It was Jerry Buss, because Jerry Buss looked at the business. He was a businessman. He looked at what made business sense. Am I going to go with the 32-year-old here, or am I going to go with the 25-year-old? I mean, it's really simple. Richy Rich, anything you got to say?
I'm pretty much done. I mean, but I felt that, the topics, we covered today, man, were necessary. The Kyrie Irving topics that needed to be touched on, because it's probably the most important topic. It's probably the hottest topic in basketball right now. Him not being able to play, him because of the vaccine, not wanting to take the vaccine, and people in the chat that think we're saying that, Kyrie has to take it, that we want Kyrie. No, it's not like that. It's supposed to be pro-choice, but he's playing for an organization where the organization that city is in, that state is in, they have a mandate, man. He has to take for him to play, he has to take the vaccine. They don't want, even the people who run the team, they agree with Kyrie Irving. They don't. Sean Marks, the owner, the guy that owns Alibaba, they're for his choice, but they're running an organization where their organization, all their players, all their staff has to be mandated, and they have to go with the protocols. If everybody on the team says they're not going to take the vaccine, you think the New York City is gonna let them get away with the mandate?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Nope.
They're not.
Nope.
So those guys, their hands are tied. If they all want to get paid, they have to take the vaccine. It's just how it is.
Yep.
Kyrie has a decision he has to make. We all respect Kyrie's decision, but if he wants to play, if he wants to get paid the full portion of his salary, he has to take the vaccine, or he can ask to be traded. That's just the that's just how things are. It is what it is. Also, I looking at the Lakers, it's going to be interesting seeing what they're going to do at the end of that during this season, because this is LeBron's last hoorah. He only has 2 seasons left, and the Lakers made a lot of desperation signings to see if LeBron could get one more ring, with this, so he can try to convince people that he's truly the second greatest of all time. How ESPN put him on that list, foolishly. It's going to be interesting to see what this team does, because there's a lot of players they signed on this Lakers team, like Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony, to see if they could win a ring before their time is up in the NBA. And for me, my own personal opinion, I don't think it's gonna work, man, because I think they got a cast on their cast is just not gonna work, man. It's just a bunch of guys on that team, man, that are past their primes. And are those guys really ready to push aside their egos and come as one? I don't know if Westbrook is that type of player, or Carmelo Anthony. He seems like he's that type of player, but he doesn't play defense. He still doesn't do the intangible things to try to be an NBA champion, a hustle player, play defense. He's still someone who's just looking to get his next bucket. So I don't know if Carmelo Anthony is that player that the Lakers needed. Plus the young players that they signed, I don't know if those guys are going to mesh well. And if Vogel's going to give those guys the necessary minutes, like Kendrick Nunn, Malik Monk, Tyler Horton Tucker, when you bring in a veteran like Rajon Rondo, he's going to need minutes, man, because he was instrumental to that bubble championship. But they got these other guards on the team that need minutes. How's that going to work out? And Trevor Ariza is hurt. Who's their perimeter defenders on that team? They have nobody there to play defense. Who's going to play defense? LeBron at 36? Carmelo Anthony at 36? Who are their perimeter guys on their wings who are going to play defense? They didn't sign it. They signed Trevor Ariza. He's already out for 8 weeks, so they're going into the season, starting the season without a perimeter guy on the defense. They're just putting everything on AD and Dwight Howard's shoulders to man up the paint, to gobble up the rebounds and block all the shots. I think that's a recipe for disaster, because it's going to put too much on those guys to have to carry that team defensively. And we all know how AD's injury prone. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. So I'm looking forward to the things that come along this season. And, me and he knows, man, we're going to be coming with these hot topics, man. Like hot grits. They're going to be coming. Every show, you already got a glimpse of today's show. We saw that you guys were engaged in the show. You guys are going to be more engaged. Well, we have to bring you all throughout the year, man. So I'm looking forward to it. And, I appreciate that, he knows, invited me to the show today. And that's it, man. That's all I got to say.
That's what's up, man. Richy Rich, you tore it up. You said everything you needed to say, as always, when you need to say it. Hopefully you guys went through. We gave you guys a great show. Zeddy Perry, the 4th, you asked, if you could get on. If you are here next week, we're going to have you on as an exclusive guest, man. So that we can have you We can get your take on what you talking about and go from there, man. Look at Max. Rich is afraid of he knows. I don't know what you mean by that. Max sounds like a
That's
hater.
a weird comment, bro.
Yeah, that Max. This is one of
Is
these
this a
it
troll?
people.
Is that a troll, bro? That's one of them trolls you done talked about, right?
No, it's one of these people that's a it. They in between. You don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you have to call him that. A it. He's a it. That's what he is. A
Such a
it.
weird comment, man. I don't know where that came from.
There you go. It rubs you the wrong way, right? Because it's a it. You're dealing with an it.
Yeah.
You're not dealing with a human being. That's why. There's anytime you're doing something good, there's always going to be an it that's going to show up. You show them the level of respect that they deserve. It is befitting because it means you don't respect them at all. So it's a it. That means you're not even a person. Remember how they would say when they talk about pronouns and nouns and they would talk about things, they would say person, place, or thing. Well, this is a it. This is a thing. An it. That's what it is. An it. A thing. It's not real. Now, just want to appreciate everyone that showed up and showed out. Zeddy Perry #4. Listen, man, you on the spot. So you here next week. We're gonna have you on as a special guest when we talk our two topics again for next week, and then we'll just have another probably exclusive topic that we'll talk about because the NBA season is very rich. There's a lot to talk about. We want to delve into so many topics with so many different teams and so many different transactions that are happening. It's just not Kyrie Irving. What's up with y'all, man? We've given y'all a great show. There's no Cash App. There's no Super Chat. Y'all gotta understand, man. When you getting your Sunday's best, you know, you gotta give the Sunday's best, man. If a man doesn't work, he shall not eat. Well, we worked. And we need to eat up in this motherfucker, dog. So make sure y'all hit the Cash App button. Make sure y'all super chat, man. Make sure you donate to the platform, man. Make sure you guys show the work that we put in because we've given you guys great work. We've given you guys great commentary. We've given you guys a great show. I haven't done lives in shit. I don't know how long. Richie Rich hasn't done lives, and that means we have the natural gift to gab, and we have the natural ability to keep you guys enthused and entertained. There's motherfuckers they have to do it all the time. If they get off 1 week, they sound bad. That's how bad they are. We done left here for months. We came back, and it's as if we didn't even leave. If anything, shit got better. So make sure y'all donate to the platform. Make sure y'all give y'all Cash App. Make sure y'all subscribe to the platform. Make sure y'all subscribe because that's very important. Make sure y'all donate. Make sure y'all give y'all salutes. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. Make sure y'all show y'all support, man. Because we're gonna continue to bring you that heat and that fire. We're gonna continue to keep the foot on the necks. We're gonna be bringing in exclusive guests, but this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Richie Rich, and it's gonna be He Knows and Richie Rich talking basketball and giving it to you guys in a real uncut and raw way, the way that you guys got to understand it. Because there's what everybody else is saying, because we ain't everybody else, and there's what we're saying, and what we say dwarf what everybody else says, because we're looking at it from the basketball eye test. That's the way to look at basketball. We're looking at it from the intangibles. That's the way to look at basketball. You look at basketball any other way, then you're not looking at basketball for what it is. We're not gonna give you stats. We're not the Jerry Westers of the world over here. We're not the Wilt Chamberlains of the world here. We're not the LeBron James of the world here. If you didn't get the pun, then I can't help you to get the pun. We're not the Oscar Robinsons of the world here. Go look at their NBA finals, and if you can't get the joke, go look at their NBA finals average. These are all stats people. We're not stats people over here. We're people that look at the basketball eye test and we look at the intangibles. That's how we judge basketball. And when you judge basketball that way, you're judging basketball at the 101, the 202, and the 303 level. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. Again, before we leave, make sure y'all Cash App. Make sure y'all donate to the platform. Give y'all Sunday's best. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in for today's show, man. Y'all take care. Y'all have a great Sunday. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Don't put your wee in any hole that it shouldn't be put in. And then you turn around looking at yourself saying, damn, I put my wee in it. So make sure you're paying attention and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to. Keep yourself clean at all times. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you take showers. Don't be all stink around people. you know, and keep your social distancing, man. Y'all take care. Have a great Sunday. We'll see y'all next week. Peace. Thank you, Richie Rich.